on the campus of Bethany College, where tonight the Smoky Valley season opens for real at home, and it's against the Halstead Dragons, and the 22 season is about to begin. And well, Doug, it's a good fall for athletics. The volleyball team, which you're coaching this year, is off to a good start. Cross country was off to a good start. I think it's football's turn. Tennis is off to a good start. I think it's time for football to be off to a good start.
Yeah, what a beautiful day for it. I mean, it's absolutely amazing out there. It's been a great day. It looked like there was some rain in the forecast earlier, and I think that's gone now. So we should have a nice night to get this season kicked off and ready to go. And being in the school with those guys, I know that they're chomping at the bit for the opportunity to get this rolling as soon as possible and get this 2022 season rolling.
Yeah, with the big senior class, big things are expected of this team, so we hope it'll get off to a good start and it'll be a fun season. But the Vikings, under Tim Lambert, have got a couple new coaches on the staff this year with James Henderson and leaving, and they put in Courtney Strauss and Kelly Dower.
Yeah, we lost James Henderson. We lost Michael Ryan, obviously went to Central Plains. And, of course, the two new additions do a great job. Of course, that makes some changes as well. Chris McClure is going to be up in the booth now as opposed to being out on the field, and he's going to take over that defensive coordinator role. So all guys that know exactly what they're doing, know how to do their jobs, just a little bit of a flip in the script as far as where they're at and what role they're actually doing now.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night for football here. It's a little warm, but the temperature is starting to creep down just a little bit. There's a little light breeze, so it's not going to be a wind-aided, not going to be a bad thing. And as far as entertainment goes, looks like we got a beautiful motorcycle color guard tonight.
Yeah, we do. It's almost school colors over there. Yeah. Got some orange, got some black, got a little bit of everything. Got like you said, the color guard to set that up. We got our dance team's going to perform at halftime, I believe. We got our cheerleaders, everything in full abundance and ready to go.
And we're going to have the superintendent's going to come up and join us at halftime, too. Heath Hogan will be with us, too, for halftime. So we'll turn it back to the station for more pregame, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. Smoky Valley football on 96.7 The Mix, KMPC.
More of the Midway Motors Drive to the Game coming up. Stay tuned as we sit down for a pregame chat with head coach Tim Lambert. Midway Motors, for every mile of life. Mix 96.7. The Smoky Valley Vikings play here.
My name is Lauren Doak, here to tell you about the Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School. Our virtual school offers tuition-free curriculum to students grades 6 through 12. We have over 75 elective classes in 8 career pathways. Experience learning at the Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School, an online link between home, school, and public education. Be anywhere, learn everywhere with Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School. Learn more at smokyvalley.org.
We're here to keep you rolling. Rod's Tire and Service.
Good evening, Grant Barrett with Ad Astra Radio, joined with Smoky Valley head coach Tim Lambert. Coach, we're looking forward to kickoff tonight. I'm sure you and your team are as well. But first, talk a little bit about the growth and the chemistry that you've seen out of your guys from the summer now up to this point.
Well, we have a large group of seniors, and quite a few of them have played a lot of football on Friday night. They're a pretty close-knit group. They're good competitors. They get along, and so it's been relatively, pain-free the first 3 weeks. We're not near as good as we need to be, but we've got a lot of experience coming back, and so you're a little farther along X's and O's wise than we have been in the past when we're dealing with a bunch of new starters.
And 9 starters on each side of the ball. Talk about that senior class and what it looks like to dive into the playbook when you have this experience.
Well, it's good for them because you can get everything in quicker, and so and then you can get a lot of reps on what you're going to do in the season. It's maybe not quite as good for your younger kids when we just go so fast because we can, but it's been good, and we've got first few days of practice we had most of our offense in, other than some tweaks here and there, and so we're really pleased with where we're at right now.
That's good. And then Carson Peel, Tristan Stambaugh, Justin Autry, you got a pretty lethal backfield, but talk about those guys up front and the guys paving the way.
Well, we got, I think, 4 or 5 returning starters on the offensive line. So, we're excited about, Gus Griffith and Justin Holt and Alex Groslin are all returning starters. They weigh over 230 pounds, and so a little bit of size and a lot of experience, and so they in what we want to do offensively, they play a huge role in what we're trying to get done.
And now talk about the defense a little bit. What's going to be the key to stopping Halstead? It was a close matchup last season, also a new coach.
Yeah, they're very fast, very quick on film, and we're just going to have to be real disciplined. We're going to have to tackle well. We're going to have to run to the football. We believe that the best high school football defenses are defenses that get a lot of people to the football, and you always tackle better the more people you get around the football. So I think that's going to be really, really huge. It's tough for us to simulate their speed in practice with our JV running their offense and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly we can adjust to how fast they are.
And lastly, Coach, what are some of the goals that you have for your team this season after finishing 5-4 last season?
Well, we don't try not to look too far ahead right now. We're just thinking about going 1-0 and trying to play as best we can and beat Halstead. And I think this team is probably better than they were a year ago, but it's all relative to who you're playing. Our schedule might be a little bit tougher, so not exactly sure where we're going to be at. And another thing that always plays into high school football is who you get hurt and how healthy you stay. So hopefully we can come out with 5 or 6, 7 wins, but we'll wait and see.
Yep, Coach, just 1-0 this week is what you're looking to go. And that's coming up shortly. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
Nope, just excited to finally play our first game and kind of see where we're at.
Well, thanks for taking the time before the game. We wish you the best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Smoky Valley head football coach Tim Lambert. Thanks again.
Prairie Partners has made it easy for you to shop online. Choose your equipment, make attachments, and even apply for financing, all at jdbuyonline.com. Whether you're looking for a John Deere riding lawnmower, compact utility tractor, utility vehicle, or compact construction equipment, Prairie Partners has what you need to get the job done. Get started shopping today at jdbuyonline.com.
Delivering the right solution. Prairie Land Partners.
Advanced Physical Therapy of McPherson offers the most comprehensive physical therapy in the area. Our therapists at Advanced Physical Therapy are trained in multiple specialties, such as dry needling, orthopedics, and neurological rehab. If getting in to see your physician is difficult, Advanced Physical Therapy may be able to see you without a referral. We pride ourselves in one-on-one, goal-oriented therapy to help reduce your pain and get you back doing the things you love. Call Advanced Physical Therapy or visit our website at aptclinics.com and see how we can help you live at your physical best.
Good evening, Grant Barrett with Ad Astra Radio, joined alongside Halstead Dragons head football coach Derek Reset. Coach, you're beginning your first season as a Dragons head football coach. Talk about the chemistry that you've seen develop from your team since you've been there.
Yeah, it started back in end of May. The first day that we could do something, we got the team together and did an install camp, and we just got going straight from the start. First time we could. Had to put in a brand new offense, brand new defense, all new special teams, and the kids have really picked up everything very well, and we're just looking forward to finally getting to play on Friday nights.
When it comes to offensive weapons, who are some of the threats that you look to get out in open space throughout the season?
Yeah, starts with our senior fullback, Skylar Greer. He's gonna carry the load for us to start the season. Big, strong kid, and can be very explosive, and we're just looking to try to get him the ball. We got some younger kids, some sophomores as well, that we're just trying to get the ball to people in open field. Another running back we have is Owen Farmer. Not the biggest guy in the world, but he's got a big heart and runs the ball very, very hard. So we're just trying to get the ball to the correct guys' hands and see what they can do with the football.
And now defensively, what do you know about Smoky Valley, and who is it that you're looking to contain for the Vikings?
Yeah, first off, they're really well coached team with Coach Lambert. He's been there for a long time and has had a lot of really good years there. So we know they're going to be well coached and disciplined. I know they're heavy on the senior class this year, so they got a lot of experience coming back. Two guys we're going to be keen on would be 22 and then their fullback, number 40, big kid, and just looking to contain those two guys and try to slow them down a little bit.
Yep, and it's a game in the trenches. Talk about those guys up front and how important it is to control the line of scrimmage in this one.
That's every game, every football game you ever see on TV or ever been around. A team that controls the offense and defensive line is usually a team that can win the game. And have the best chance to win, and that's what we're going to try to do on Friday night, and we know Smoky's going to try to do the same thing, so it's going to be a tough battle.
Definitely. Lastly, Coach, what are some of the goals that you have for your team this season?
Continue to get better each day, continue to improve, and work hard. Just improve each and every day, each and every play, and continue to move on and move forward and see what we can do.
Fantastic, Coach. Thanks for your time. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, I just want to say thanks for the interview and see you tonight.
Halstead Dragons head football coach Derek Reset, thanks for joining us before the game.
Thank you.
Summer is here and we're bringing the heat. At Next Tech Wireless, you can get an iPhone.
Number 50, senior Alex Crossland. Number 51, another senior, Richard Zeller. Number 70, a senior, Gus Corbett. A sophomore, number 73, Ezekiel Baker. And rounding out your starting lineup for the home Vikings, number 77, senior, Justin Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise for the national anthem and remove your hats. Performed by the Mighty Viking Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Adam Keller.
Campus of Bethany College, where the Smoky Valley Vikings and the Halstead Dragons are going to get hooked up for the home opener tonight, and we'll see if we can get you adjusted, Doug, just a little bit there. The Vikings are looking forward to having a great season, and I think we're gonna see tonight what the Vikings are made of. I think this is going to be an opening statement game, and I'm really excited for the game tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be a chance for Smoky Valley to really come out and get that job done and see what they got.
Yeah, they do, and they're going to be led by a group of seniors that have been playing for a long time. They only had 3 or 4 seniors last year, one of which I saw him in the crowd tonight, Haven Lysell Stewart, back for tonight's game, but he was the only one that really played very much, and he's down at Oklahoma playing, and I think these guys are ready to see what they can do tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely ready. You know, Carson Field is the way out here. 2x4 ready to get us going and ready to get things started. The guys are pumped up. This has been a big practice for them. They've really competed hard. They've prepared well. They come in a little dinged up, but they come in ready to play, that's for sure.
Why don't we just get into starting lineups here? We've only got about 2.5 minutes before the start of the game. You want to give me some starting lineups first for the Halstead Dragons?
Starting defense for Halstead tonight, you've got Holden Davis on the defensive end. He's 5'9", 172. Nose guard Kurt Faudel. He is a 6 foot, 256-pound sophomore. Zantana Shavarin, he's 6'1", 240-pound junior at the other defensive end position. At their linebackers, Aaron Caldwell, 6'5", 162-pound junior. Braden Logan, inside linebacker, 5'10", 177, another junior. Gage Meyer, 6'1", 213-pound sophomore. He's the other inside linebacker position. And then Adler Davidson, the 6 foot, 197-pound senior. He's on the outside. Their two corners, Skylar Gear. He's a 5'11", 164-pound senior. And at the other corner, Cohen Corona, 6'5", 160-pound sophomore. Meanwhile, the safety positions, Owen Haight, 6 foot, 154-pound senior, and Owen Farmer, 5'6", 131-pound junior. For the Vikings, starting offensive line tonight, Gus Griffith at left tackle, 6'4", 280-pound senior. At left guard, Alex Groslin, 6'2", 225-pound sophomore. Justin Holt, the anchor, he's tonight in a little different position than usual, 6'2", 230-pound senior. Right guard, Zeke Baker, the sophomore, 6 foot, 215 pounds. And at right tackle, Richard Zeller, the 6'2", 210-pound senior. In the slot, Cade Blanchett, 6'4", 180-pound senior. At tight end, Vincent Pickering, 6'1", 200-pound senior. Braxton House at wide receiver, 6'1", 185. And then in the backfield, Tristan Stambaugh, 6'3", 225-pound senior at fullback. At tailback, Justice the Meerkat Autry. He's at 5'7", 130. Another senior. And then Carson Beal at quarterback, 6 foot, 170-pound senior.
I don't know if we won the toss or lost the toss, but we're taking the ball first. We're going to be going from north to south here on the relatively new turf. I guess it was new last year, so this is the second year on this turf. It's a beautiful looking field. It has Bethany colors on one end zone and Smoky Valley colors on the other end. I'm excited. We're ready for football.
Yeah, like I said, beautiful night. A little bit of breeze, not too much. It's not going to be affecting the game a whole lot. No. The flags on top of the goalposts not moving a whole lot, but at least there's a little something out there to make it a night. But again, Halstead comes in, had their struggles last year.
2-7.
2-7. The Vikings, of course, 5-4 last year. Have an opportunity to come back. Like you mentioned, a lot of returning players. I believe we returned 9 on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
We're ready to come out and show what we're made of right now and get this season underway.
Yeah, we want this game, and we want this game bad. So we'll see what happens. Halstead will be. Which one are you looking for?
I gotta have my headset turned up. I can't hear you at all.
Okay.
There, that's perfect.
There we go.
Now I feel like I'm a part of the game again.
Looks like it's going to be Nolan Dower and Braxton Howe. Oh, no, it's the Meerkat going back. Yep. Justice Autry and Nolan Dower back near the 10-yard line, and the Halstead hasn't broke their huddle yet. Their punter is number 25, Carlos Martinez. See who they do for the kickoff. I didn't see anybody warming up when we were here earlier. And the Vikings with their home black uniforms. Looks like new uniforms this year because they got some striping across the top of the shoulder pads.
Yep. And, of course, we're without Jerome Autry tonight, a little dinged up with the shoulder. I believe we're without Austin Sharp tonight also, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why we've got Justin Holt at the center. But, again, this offense has been an offense that's just continued to develop. They started out the year last year. All 3 running backs had a 100-yard game in their first game out against Halstead last year. So excited to see what they're going to do.
And it is number 14 kicking Thomas Burns. So he has his hand. They're going to break a quick huddle and spread out. The Vikings are ready to go here. He takes a couple steps back and ready to go. The play clock is running. He's got 15 seconds to kick it off, and he's ready to go. And there's the boot, high end over end. It's going to come down to Dower. He's got it about the 15-yard line. Looks like it's going to be reversed to the Meerkat near side, trying to get outside 20, 25, across the middle, and up across the 30, and then, he stepped out of bounds at the 25-yard line. I didn't see that, but he caught just a little bit of the edge at the 25-yard line. And that's where the Vikings of the 2022 season will take over on first down.
Yeah, great eye by the official. I just saw it on the replay over here, and he just barely did get that right foot on that out-of-bounds line as he was attempted to cut back. So here we go. Carson Beal, of course, leading the charge here, the senior quarterback. Of course, spending the first 2 seasons very injury-riddled, and then had a really strong season, I thought, came back, put 3 seasons of football together last year. So I'm excited to see what he can do this year.
We're going to go wide receiver each way, I formation behind Carson, who's under center. Defense does a little shifting around. Here comes the Meerkat off the left side. It's got some room across the 25 up to the 30. He'll get about 5 on the play. First down, 5. Second down and 5 to go.
Yeah, nice run over that left side. Of course, we mentioned that Gus Griffith at 280, Alex Groslin at 225, Justin Holt at 230 leading the charge over there, and a nice pickup early. And again, a lot of our yardage last year had to come outside the tackles from Justice. Nice to see him able to get inside that tackle a little bit.
Nolan wide to the near side, Cade Blanchett wide to the far side. I formation again behind Carson. Here comes Stambaugh up the middle, and he's going to get stood up. He gets a lunge forward to get a couple more. He'll be about 3, and it's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, we say it every single year. It's pound, pound, pound. You get a lot of that Tristan Stambaugh up the middle, and eventually you wear out defenses, especially on these days that are a little warm early in the season. You got to come out and compete hard. It's a difficult run, but we like to really just kind of go at you and really try to establish ourselves early in the game.
Braxton House is bringing the play out. He lost something on the way out. He had to retreat and get it, so they're a little late coming out, but now they're in the first time in double tight wishbone formation behind Carson. He's going to turn and hand it off to Blanchett. He's got first down yardage and more across the 35 up to about the 38-yard line. First drive, first down.
Yeah, nice run off the left side again. It seems like we want to really stack that left side here. Got Vincent Pickering at tight end over there as well. Again, that spot vacated by Haven Lysell Stewart last year. He did a phenomenal job there. So Vincent's got some big shoes to fill in that realm, but I think he's very capable of having a good season.
Ethan Abel now the tight end on the wishbone formation on the near side. Carson under center. Hand it off to the Meerkat, trying to pop outside. Now cut it back up the middle. He gets up to the 40-yard line, but he's going to be driven back from there, and it'll be 2nd down and about 8.
Yeah, nice job by the linebacker there. I think that was Gage Meyer that came flying in from the backside there for Halstead, able to make that stick after a few yards. It looked like it might amount to more, but he was able to stop Justice in his tracks and take him down right there for a gain of about, what'd you say, about 3, 4?
I had him at 2, but it looks like he got a good spot. Yeah, I think he got a good spot up across near the 41-yard line. So we'll call it 2nd down and 7. Yeah, it looked like when he cut back, he had a little alley there, but it got closed up really quickly by that good linebacker. Here comes Stambaugh up the middle. He's got some room. He's up near midfield. He's near first down yardage, so it is going to be a first down. Good hard running by Tristan Stambaugh.
Yeah, 5 plays out of the gate for the Vikings and 2 first downs. And again, just staying on the ground, doing what they love to do, which is pound that ball. Again, Stambaugh right up the gut there, found a little crease through the line and was able to get to that second wave and pick up that first down.
Now, Coach Lambert, we had quarterback club for the first time in the cafeteria this week on Tuesday morning. He was kind of taking a little ribbing about running the ball so much, but boy, it's effective. Wide receiver each way, I formation this time. Carson's going to keep the ball. No, it's Stambaugh, and he's going to get 1, maybe 2 yards right up the middle. It got plugged up pretty quickly.
In his defense, the question at quarterback club was, would you entertain a question about how many times you're going to throw the ball? And he said he would entertain the question. He didn't say he'd answer it. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Wide receiver each way again, House and Blanchett. I formation behind Carson, who's gone under center the entire way so far. Just short of the 50-yard line. Carson's going to keep it this time and get outside, and he's going to get up down to the 46-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of nearly 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
Yeah, Vikings officially now getting into Halstead territory here. Didn't give him as much as I thought he had. I didn't think they gave him the roll over the top of the body there, but they do put it I'd say just on the other side of the 46, so about 46 and a half, but it does leave them with their longest 3rd down play of the night so far.
And they got to get to the 42 for the first down. So it's going to be 3rd and a long 4 here. Just underway, no score yet. First possession for Smoky Valley, and they've had it the entire first quarter so far with 8:05 left to go. Hand it off to Carson. Almost lost the ball. Now he's going to try to get outside. He's going to lunge forward. He'll get back to near the line of scrimmage, but that play got busted up in the middle, and Carson almost fumbled the ball, kind of pinned it on his back a little bit, and then he tried to get some yardage, and he didn't get sacked, but he didn't get any yardage either.
Freshman Reddy Wallace, 6'1", 245-pounder. He got through there and was all over Stambaugh, really wrecked that play. Really fortunate, I think, by Peel to be able to pull that ball back out of there and even pick up half a yard, 3/4 of a yard there.
So first 4th down of the evening for the Vikings here in Halstead territory. Pitch it to the outside, get Meerkat some room. He's got to get some yardage. He's going to have to hurry, and he's not going to make it. Tried to get a good second effort, but coming in to close the gap was number 12, one of the linebackers, Adler Davison, a senior, and they stopped the Vikings. So the Vikings turn it over on downs on their first possession after having a pretty good run.
Yeah, some really solid pursuit. I tell you, another one there was Cohen Corona coming up from his cornerback position. He was able to get him around the legs and start that tackle. But yeah, the Vikings end up having, if I believe correctly, 9 plays there on that drive, but unfortunately come up short on 4th down and turn the ball over to Halstead. So we have our first opportunity to see this Halstead offense in action with Tucker Devine under center.
They do a couple, it's kind of the wing T formation. There's a couple wing backs and a single back behind the quarterback in the backfield. They're going to hail it right up the middle, and the Vikings got it snuffed out good. They're going to go backwards on that play. Good effort by the Vikings inside there. Finishing it off was Justin Holt, but somebody else inside. I think Braxton House had the play snuffed in the middle.
I'll tell you, that whole middle there really bottled things up. You had Stanbaugh coming in from his linebacker position. You had Gus Griffith there, Alex Groslin. All of them were right in there making a play. There was no avenue. And I tell you, Devine was pretty fortunate because it looked like that ball was moving a little bit when he got hit. Instead, just a yardage loss, but not a turnover.
Second down and 12 for the Halstead Dragons. All white uniforms, blue numerals, white helmets. As they come up to the line of scrimmage with wide receiver each way and a wing back each side and a tailback behind the quarterback who's under center. Turns and rolls out to the far side, still rolling, going to pass it down there and caught by number 11 and wrapped up quickly and driven out of bounds about the 48-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 7 or 8. It's going to be third down and about 6.
Yeah, we had Braxton House in coverage there. He just missed tipping the ball away by just a little bit. Ends up getting to the outside. Again, that ball caught by Owen Farmer. Farmer was able to get up the edge there, and then Cade Blanchett able to corral him there, just able to pull him out of bounds by the jersey. But it does set up a manageable third and about 6 here for Halstead.
Long 5, short 6. Devine, the quarterback, is gone under center. Now this time he's going to be in shotgun formation with these two flankers are out wider this time in the formation. In motion to the near side, there's going to be a handoff, a little toss handoff, and he's trying to get outside. He's going to be tuckled up and wrapped up in the ball. Ooh, I thought the ball came loose, but good second and third effort. But here's a flag coming in. I think it's going to be holding on Halstead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Justin Holt was being held there for quite a while.
Yeah.
Number 58, Seth Motes, was working on him as much as he could, but Justin did a really good job changing directions repeatedly and made that difficult. But excellent pursuit by the Viking defense. Like I said, started by Justin Holt, just stringing that play out, doing his job, and then you had the gang coming in there. You had Blanchett, you had Beaker coming in, and everybody, Ethan Abel finally in on the tackle. And it looks like the Vikings are going to go ahead and accept that penalty, especially knowing it would have been fourth, and again, maybe a spot where they might have gone for it, or either that, been able to punt them deep. Now you push them back a little bit and force them to have to make a play here and maybe even end up with some better field position here after a punt.
So we're going to keep it third down. It's going to be third down and about 15 now to go on the Halstead side of the 40-yard line. It's at ball's at the 38. They got to get across midfield down to near the 46-yard line before the first down. 2 players break the huddle. Now the other 9 come out and break the huddle. Wide receiver and flanker wide to the near side. Shotgun formation for Devine. Looks like Stanbaugh is going to be blitzing. Devine's going to tuck it and run on the near side. He's trying to get outside. He's going to get a little bit of room, and he's driven out of bounds about the 48-yard line. So the penalty, by taking that penalty, go back to fourth down and about 8 now as compared. Oh, here's another flag. See what this flag's going to be on.
Yeah, there was a little woofing there after that play. I saw the highlight here. It looks like number 9 comes in late, attacks the leg down there of Gus Griffith, and then they both have something to say to each other. Is it
not going to get the flag on the Vikings for unsportsmanlike conduct?
I knew there was a conversation between number 9 and Gus Griffith there. I wasn't sure exactly what took place. I have a feeling that both players most likely said something, but Gus was facing the official, and the other player was not facing the official. And that ends up costing the Vikings. It'll be an unsportsmanlike penalty, and that will grant them a first down.
And a big one at that, 15 yards on that penalty all the way down to the 38-yard line. So
yeah, and like you mentioned, he picked up most of the yardage lost on the penalty previously. So it was back to the original spot, and then you had 15 on top of that. Now they're in business here in Viking territory at about the 38.
Double flanker, double wide receiver. Devine in shotgun formation, going to hand it off, trying to get outside. And good tackle by Ethan Abel, but he actually got through that tackle. Good second effort by the running back there to get about 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, Skylar Gear, the senior, doing a nice job putting his head down, able to continue getting some yardage after first contact. You made the call. Ethan Abel got him first, but was unable to get him wrapped up, and then a horde of Vikings end up making that final tackle there, including number 73. You got to get my numbers right. Number 73, Zeke Baker.
Yeah, Zeke Baker checked in for number 70, Gus Griffith. So Gus Griffith, after that penalty, had to sit for a play or two. So it's second down, and we'll call it a long 6 for the Halstead Dragons in Viking territory at the 33-yard line. And now we got a timeout on the field by Halstead. Timeout here on the field, 5:16 left to go in the first quarter, no score. We'll be back with resume play after this timeout.
The Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Find exclusive stories highlighting Viking athletics at AdAstraRadio.com. Your home for Viking football is Mix 96.7.
At People's Bank and Trust, we value our customers. We know you have plenty of choices for your mortgage loans, but we think we have what you're looking for: relationship banking. And if you're considering refinancing or purchasing a new home, check our competitive rates before you make that change. Your payments will be made at home, and you'll receive good personalized service. That's how we've established many long-lasting relationships. Make a change, know your lender, and make your payments at home with People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Today's game is brought to you by the Halstead Dragon Backers, proud to support the youth of the Halstead community. Contact the Dragon Backers about becoming a member. Go Dragons from the Halstead Dragon Backers.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Halstead Dragons had to have a little reconciliation here. Got some nice sponsors from them for the game tonight, too. One receiver to the near side. Tight end right now, flanker in motion to the far side. Pitch to the far side, trying to get out. It's Creed. He's going to get met and go down about the 30-yard line. He'll pick up about 3. It's going to be 3rd and 2 now for the Dragons.
A nice run there, good opportunity to pick up some yardage. But again, that Viking defense, they swarm so well, getting off their blocks, doing what they have to do to make a play, and just staying close and able to, again, get a number of hats on the ball and stop it. But again, short yardage here for Halstead now, 3rd and about 2. Guarantee this is 4-down territory, obviously, but they're going to try to ground and pound here a little bit, I think.
Wide receiver each way for the Dragons. Flanker on each side and shotgun formation for Devine, the quarterback. Creed next to him in the backfield. He's going to tuck it himself and run. Devine's got it himself, and he's going to get just right at the first down marker. The Vikings pulled him back, but I think they're going to give him forward progress across the 28. So first down Halstead now, nearing the red zone.
That's going to be close.
I think they might measure. We'll see what. No. Yep. They are going to measure. So Vikings are going to measure. Quickly, an update on your volleyball team. You undefeated on Abilene.
Yeah, last night. Played pretty well. Again, Saturday got going, went 5-1 at the CKL tournament. Was really pleased with how our girls responded and the effort they provided. And then last night we went out and Abilene and beat them in the first match of the night in 2 sets. Was able to get the second match against TMP, and then had to go 3 sets against Concordia. But again, we're able to come out with the win. Extremely pleased with the start. 8-1, a great set of girls. Can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, no question about it. It is short, so it's going to be 4th down and inches for the Halstead Dragons here. So look for Devine to go under center this time and do a quarterback sneak. We'll see what they decide to call. They rush up to the line of scrimmage. Devine does go under center. Single back behind him in the backfield. Oh, that was motion
early.
Yeah.
I was any flag.
Yeah, there it is. Now the fullback took off running before. I mean, you can take a step forward and then go sideways, but you can't take off. That's not Canadian football.
He was on a full sprint by the time that play took off.
Yeah, and he got right on the back of the quarterback and pushed him through the line. So he got a little anxious. He went on 2 instead of 3, and that cost him 5 yards.
A little bit of a delayed call there. I was surprised it took so long to throw that flag. I don't know if the official had to remember what he saw a little bit. It just looked so unique there for a second.
I started saying, is the flag coming out? And sure enough, it did. So now it's 4th and 5. There's under 4 minutes now left to go in the first quarter. Each team has had the ball once. Vikings turns it over on down. See if they can get the Halstead to turn it over on downs as well. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Devine in that shotgun formation again. High snap, he's going to roll on the near side, going to try to pitch it. Now he's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be wrapped up. The Vikings are going to get it back. Turnover on downs. Way to go, Smoky Valley Bees.
First one in there, Caleb Gustus, and then he earned a little bit of help from some buddies after he was able to wreck that play, but he came off that left side. was able to get a hold of him, got help from Gus Griffith and Justin Holt to finish him off. And that play, that penalty changes the complexity of that whole drive, because you got 4th and 1, you go back to 4th and about 6, and the Vikings get the stop, get the ball back in good position right here.
Good field position for the Vikings here for their second drive of the night. Wishbone formation for the Vikings. Double tight end. Carson Peel going to roll out, going to pass out of there, out in the flat. It's caught by Autry, and he's got big yardage up to the 40, 45-yard line across, and maybe up near midfield. You see where they finally spot it, but great little pass out of the running formation. And very successful play.
Now, that's an awful early pass to see from the Vikings this season, Don. There's a great look. A nice little rollout by Peel. He does hit Autry, who comes out of the backfield and slips right out. It's a beautiful look. He gets up the sideline and able to pick up the first down with good yardage.
All the way up to the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, Smoky Valley. Here comes the Meerkat trying to go, and he gets wrapped up in the middle by number 45. Great tackle by Logan. And he stops the Meerkat right in his tracks. They're going to give him a little progress back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to be no gain on the play, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, again, Justice a little more durable this year. Good weight room summer for him, and he's able to come out and get that ball between the tackles a little bit more and still have that speed to get to the edge, but a desire for the Vikings to be able to mix and match their inside and outside games here. But again, we've got such a great, strong senior line, the majority of them. They really can move some people.
Wishbone formation again. Stambaugh bringing it up the first time across midfield and down to about the 49-yard line. So he's going to get 3, maybe 4 yards, depending on where they spot it. They're going to give him the 48-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 6.
Again, another hard run up the middle by Stambaugh. Again, just kind of those body blows, as we would call it in a boxing bout or boxing match. Just continue to pound. They've got some good, strong guys up front from Halstead, but again, we just want to wear them down and see who's left standing in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, no question about that. 2nd down, or 3rd down now. 3rd down and 6. Going to be Stambaugh again. Going to be running right up the middle, and he's going to get near first down yardage down to about the 43-yard line. He had to get to the 42, so it's going to be 4th down and 1 for the Vikings.
Yeah, nice hard run again, right up the middle. Nice tackle there in the middle as well. I think it was number 53 for Halstead that makes that tackle.
Davis.
That was Davis right there, their senior, holding on to Stambaugh and at least giving him an opportunity to get a 4th down play here.
So 4th down and 1 for the Vikings in Halstead territory at the 42-yard line. We'll call it the 43. They got to get to the 42 for a first down. Oh, Carson loses the ball, comes out, and they're going to get the fumble, gets away, and the Vikings turn it over. Actually, it's going to be turnover on down or a fumble, but anyway, we turn it over, and Halstead back in business again at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, they talked a little bit about this. You know, last year, one of our major struggles we had, and you and I talked about it in games last year, was that quarterback-center exchange had some issues. Justin Holt, of course, having to move into that position tonight and be the center. That's only really been worked on now for about a week here for the Vikings at practice. And they talked about the fact that, you know, getting that timing down, not pulling away from center too quickly, and that time fumble occurs.
Flanker in motion now, back inside now. Here comes the wingman out. He's got some room across the 45, and great tackle by Beaker, Max Beaker on that play. It came up and racked up number 11 Farmer on the play. He looked like he was going to break out into the open, and it might have gone for a score if Beaker wouldn't have hung on.
Yeah, and I think it goes for a score if Cade Blanchett doesn't get an arm on him and kind of swing him around, because he had a crease there. It looked like he was going to be able to sneak between the corner and the safety. If he does that, he may still be running, but good hands by Blanchett, and then finished off, like you said, by Beaker, and the Vikings get at least a stop there and hold them to about 6.
2nd down and 4 for Halstead. Still looking now. It's going to be rolling out to the back. Going to go deep down the middle. Nolan Dower on defense there, and caught. It went up to caught by number 80, McNoja. McNoja and Dower right there. Each one of them went up. Each one of them had a hand on the ball, but McNoja comes down with it inside the 20-yard line at the 16. First and 10, Halstead on the big play.
Say from the get-go, Nolan was about a step behind, but he caught back up. The ball was thrown a little short, but that was the difference there between Minoja having a little bit more height and got up first on his jump, had a little better angle, was able to pull that ball in for a big gain.
2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Under center, Devine is going to pass it off to Creed. Creed trying to get outside, gets around House. But making the play is Beaker along with Blanchett there as they get across the 15 down to about the 13-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 3 or 4. We'll call it 3.
Nice pursuit by the Viking defense. Again, trying to hold. How many times did we make that statement last year? The defense got their backs against the wall, had to hold, keep the Viking offense in the game. They're going to have to do that again here, but they're not going to have to do it until we start this second quarter.
Quarter number 1 in the books, no score. We'll be back for the opening play of quarter number 2. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football on 96.7 KMCP, The Mix.
First quarter scores in tonight's high school football action. Bueller up early on Andover Central 6-0. Trinity Catholic leading Sedgwick 7-0. Canton Galba takes a 12-8 lead on the Little River. That's pending a PAT late in the first quarter. Andale leading Wellington right now 7-0 in the opening night of high school football. Stay with us. Coming up at halftime, we'll have as many area scores as we can come up with you here on the Ad Astra Sports Network. I'm Lucky Kid.
The Halstead Bank is a perennial supporter of Halstead High School athletics and activities. Halstead Bank has been serving area farmers and ranchers for over a century, so we understand agriculture. We have the product offering and lending expertise to help your farm operation thrive, and our knowledge of the industry can add value to your business. Call or stop by 314 Main Street in Halstead to speak with ag lender Steve McGinn. Halstead Bank, our roots run deep in agriculture. Member FDIC.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
A lot of work to do, and now that they're inside the red zone, it's pretty important to get a stop now.
It's really important. It's been a good struggle so far. Again, the play that kind of changed everything, 3 plays. I thought Halstead had a good opportunity earlier, and the penalty on them after the Vikings had an unsportsmanlike penalty that actually allowed them down there. But then, of course, the turnover by Smoky Valley on 4th down didn't really give us a chance to get that first down play. And then a huge catch, nice pitch and catch there between Devine and Minoja. And he went up, got the ball at his highest point. If he even wiggles with that ball for a split second, I think that's an interception.
Yeah, no question about that. So, second down, and we'll call it along 7 here for Halstead. They're heading to the south end zone now this time. They got 1 receiver wide to the near side, double flanker and a tight end. Under center goes the quarterback, and a hand up Creed right up the middle. He's going to take a little bit of room and get near first down yardage inside the 10-yard line that time. So nice run by Creed. No, not Creed. That was Gear. So Gear brings it in the middle, and he's going to give him the 9-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and about 3 left to go here just at the start of the second quarter. Still no score in the ball game. We're at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Smoky Valley Vikings play their football games. They break the huddle, send 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Single back behind Devine under center. Long play count, going to hand it off on the side to Greer. He's got through a couple of blockers or tacklers through another tackler across the 5 and down to about the 3-yard line. That was great second and maybe third effort by the running back Greer.
I tell you, that was a very spirited run because he broke out of some arm tackles of the Vikings. Looked like they had really good shots at getting him. They had him at the line of scrimmage. Pickering misses him. Blanchett misses him. Looked like Griffith missed him. Finally get him down. I think it was Dower that finally got him down there at the 3. But again, a really strong run. You have 2 teams here that have very similar offenses that really want to just kind of go at you, pound away at you, but then look for that one quick strike if they can get it. And so far, Halstead's had that strike.
Wide receiver each way, flanker each way, single back Creed behind Devine under center. 1st and goal for Halstead. And in motion out to the side, pitch out to the far side, trying to get outside. Blanchett's got the good angle and great assistance. Still breaking tackles, though. What an effort by the runner, number 11, Farmer. what should have been about a 3 or 4 yard loss turns into about a yard gain.
Tell you what, the coaching staff's going to be upset about that play because they had him dead to rights, Blanchett all over him. You had House back there that had a hand on him. You had Holt that had a hand on him. He broke through about 5 Vikings there before we finally get him down at the line of scrimmage when he clearly should have had at least a 5-yard loss.
Yeah.
So hard run by Farmer just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know if you'll see a lot of things going around the edge again. I think you'll expect to see them between the tackles here and not get stretched out.
Fine under center. Man in motion to the near side. Here comes a run up the middle, and it's in for the score. Touchdown Halstead by Greer. And with 9:43 left to go in the first half, Halstead gets on top by 6.
Yeah, nice run right up the middle. Greer got him most of the way here except for the pass play, but his hard-nosed running got him in position, and then he was able to finally take it in as well and get the score. So big-time opening here for Halstead, getting on the board first here on opening night.
Burns will try the extra point. The holder is the quarterback, Devine. Ball is going to be set down about the 10-yard line. Vikings pressuring in. It's blocked. Vikings block the extra point. So our score with 9:43 left to go in the first half. Halstead 6, Smoky Valley 0. Back after this 30-second. I'm out.
Allen Samuels and Hutch is proud to support our community and local businesses, and we promise to continue to do so. Follow us on Facebook and join in our weekly giveaways. Check out our website at allensamuelshutch.com for our new inventory arriving daily. And remember, Ladies' Day is every Tuesday for discounted oil changes, tire rotation, and a free car wash. Allen Samuels on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine and Hutch. We always have a warm cup of coffee waiting, and that's why Mr. Samuels always says,
"Come by, let's be friends."
Kaufman Funeral Home in Halstead, serving the area for 3 generations since 1943. Kaufman Funeral Home is Harvey County's only family-owned 4-time funeral home. Good luck to the Halstead Dragons.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings find themselves trailing in this first game here, the opening game of the season for both teams, and it's a home opener for the Vikings. And Halstead put together a 7-play, 59-yard drive to go on top on the 3-yard gear run. But the Vikings did block the extra point, so see if that'll give them some momentum here to get the offense untracked and get on the scoreboard. Still plenty of time with 9:43 left to go in the second quarter, but no need to panic yet. But you certainly want to take care of business here.
And I think Stanbaugh was the one that got through and got that. It was really difficult to tell. You had Stanbaugh back there, Blanchett back there. I think House even got back there. And Stanbaugh got a really good push to get through and have an opportunity to block it. So that sets them up well here, keeps the game manageable at 6-0. And again, we spent a lot of time last year talking about this team and battling back from behind. They can do it, and they can continue to come after you. And like you said, no reason to overreact. Continue to do what they do well.
Halstead to kick it off. Number 14, Jones, to do the kicking. Or Burns, excuse me, Burns. Deep for the Vikings, Dower and Autry. It's going to go short and bounce, and Nolan's going to pick it up and just go down with it about the 22-yard line. So when they kick away from the Viking returners, they got to make sure they end up with the ball.
Yeah. And you know, you practice so many things, but it's so hard to replicate kickoffs. Because you want your guy to practice kickoffs, and you want him to do what you want your team to be able to field. And here you go, dropping one in between a number of Vikings, and it was a really solid spot. It was just a little bit behind Braxton House there, just in front of Dower. I think Dower makes a good play, and like you said, they'll start at the 22-yard line here with this drive.
Carson under center, wide receiver each way. Carson's going to keep it himself and try to get outside. He's got some running room. Knocks over one tackler and gets up to the 35 and up near the 40-yard line. Great run by Carson Field. And did you see that truck that you just got run into?
Yeah, he definitely took it right at number 7 on that play. That was a big play. Reeson Bigley, the sophomore, tried to stand in there. But you and I, again, talked about this last year, too. That was an element that kind of started to come out late in the season as Carson started to feel more comfortable, able to put the ball on the ground himself and be able to run and really punish some people. He's a good-sized young man.
Abel wide to the far side, Blanchett near side. Here comes Stanbaugh right up the middle. He's only going to get about a yard before that pocket just collapses on him. But getting back to the kickoff too, Doug, the other thing that Nolan couldn't do there, you weren't going to be completely sure the ball was going to go out of bounds.
No, you weren't. And you could try to do the old stand up and grab it, but you have no idea how close that next would-be tackler is either.
Yeah.
Get on the ground, give yourself a chance.
Get the ball.
22 yards line is not a bad place to take over the ball.
Vikings go back to double tight wishbone formation on 2nd and long. Here comes Blanchett on the side. He's got room. He's got near midfield, so he's got first down yardage on that 2nd down carry. Cade Blanchett just student body left, and he did a nice job.
I tell you, 27 yards there by the Vikings in 3 plays. It didn't take long to get a Carson Peel run, a stand-by dive, and then Blanchett just inside the left tackle there, able to get the ball up, move that ball effectively. To see the offense starting to click now, just got to continue doing what they do well.
Stay in that wishbone formation on the Viking side of midfield. Going to turn and hand it off to the Meerkat. He's got some room. Quickly outside. He's going to be down to the 45-yard line where he's going to get a pickup of about 6 on the play. Every time he has the ball, when he gets a little bit of a crease, you wonder, is this the one he's going to go on?
Yeah, and I tell you what I like about that play right there, a little juke move right after he got it, a little hesitation step, a little jump step, and got through that line, able to create some space. It's not a 35 or a 40-yard run, but it's a solid 5-6-yard gain.
So 2nd down and 5, we'll call it here at 7:50 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Wishbone formation again behind Peel. Here comes Blanchett on the left side. He's got more running room across the 30, and down inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Cade Blanchett running strong, and he's so tall and he's got such long strides that he takes a lot of real estate with each step.
He really does, and he's got good speed. He really does. If you get him going and you get him downhill, he really gets down the field effectively.
A great run by Cade Blanchett, and Halstead's going to keep a timeout. We're going to keep this one right here this time as the Vikings going to really, the Mr. Momentum has kind of gotten on their back all of a sudden.
It really has. That's 5 plays, 48 yards. Yeah, they haven't had 48 yards, I think, for the game at this point in time.
No.
And now all of a sudden, you give up that first touchdown. It's kind of that wake-up call. Hey, we should have been on the board first. Now we're coming at you. Now we've got that anger. We've got some of those nerves out of starting that game. We've got that first quarter under our belt. There's always those expectations when you come in, when you're a team like these guys are that bring 9 guys back on both sides of the ball, that people think you're going to have this breakout season. And that's a lot of pressure for guys that are 16, 17, 18 years old. And they're coming out here and they're finally relaxing and playing their game.
No question about that. The Vikings certainly made Halstead. I think that's their last timeout, if I remember right. They have one.
I think they have one left.
They have one left, but that's a couple of timeouts they called to make sure the Vikings are try to get the momentum, try to get them stopped a little bit here.
But early in the season, you see teams do that a lot, even just to catch a wind.
Yeah.
You're just not used to doing something like this against somebody else. You're against your JV a lot of times in practice, but not another varsity.
Vikings come out of the timeout, wishbone formation, double tight again. Carson under center, going to hand it off to the Meerkat. He's going to try to cut back against the grain, and this time he cuts back into where all the defenders are. So he's only going to get a couple yards on that play. It's going to be 2nd down and about 8.
Yeah, Justice tried to spin in the middle there, but there wasn't much room for a spin before a host of Halstead Dragons are in there, including big number 67, Chavarine, and I believe also Holden Davis in there. So both guys coming off that line to make a play on that ball.
What do you call more than one dragon?
Cluster? I don't know what a series of we can make something up.
Yeah, we can make something up. 2nd down. Here's a pitch to Autry trying to get outside. Going to juke move there. Another juke move and a great tackle in there on the play by number 9 for Halstead. Height gets the tackle, but kept Autry from getting a first down. He's going to get up, so it's going to be 3rd and a long 4, short 5 for the Vikings.
A group of dragons is called a thunder. No, I don't think it is, but it sounds good, though, doesn't it?
Sounds good.
Try it.
Sounds good.
If I'm Halstead, I would like that. I'd like to be called a thunder of dragons on the tackle.
Wide receiver each way for the Vikings. This time I formation behind Carson under center. Turns and hands it off to Stambaugh right up the middle. He's got room. He's got across the 15 down to the 10-yard line before he's wrapped up and tackled. And they're going to give him the 11. They're going to say he's down at the 11-yard line. What a burst right up the middle.
I love me some Tristan Stambaugh, but I think he was as surprised as anybody in the stadium that he got through the line without hitting somebody. You know, he's always got his head down. He's always ready to pound that first tackler. He had his head down, and there was nobody to hit. And all of a sudden, he straightened up and got up to speed and had a great game.
Richard Zeller kind of come out a little bit limping. I don't know who went in for him, though, but they go back to wishbone formation here on 1st and 10. Here comes Blanchett on the left side. This time they're going to wrap him up. He just didn't get that seam this time. Good play in there by number 53, the lineman in there. Number Holden Davis on the tackle. He wrapped him up and just didn't let him get away. So second down, they're going to lose 2 on that one. It's going to be second down and 12. Ball's going to be about the 14-yard line.
Yeah, I think not that it was to his side. Gabe Baker came in for Zeller on that. So we got Gabe Baker and Zeke Baker both there on the lines. The twins anchor in some of that as well. But they did go over that left side that time. But it was a great push by the Halstead Dragon defenders to get back in the backfield.
Wide receiver each way for the Vikings. I formation behind Carson. He's going to turn in hand, keep it himself, trying to get outside. He's got room. He's got the 5. He's got the touchdown. Carson Peel from 14 yards out. Carson ties the score up for the Vikings at the 5-13 mark.
Yeah, 2 great elements there. A fantastic block by the Meerkat. Justice Autry got the pancake coming through there that really freed him up. And second block was on the outside. On that particular play, they put Cade Blanchett split out to the left, and Cade was able to get the second block. Those 2 blocks freed Peel, and the Vikings are on the board for the first time here on this 2022 season.
At the 5-13 mark, they're going to go for 2 here on the extra point. Wishbone formation for the Vikings. Roll out on the backside, still rolling, go to pass it, and caught. Pass caught by Braxton House for 2, and the Vikings take an 8-6 lead with 5:13 left to go here in the first half. We'll be back with the kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
Be anywhere, learn everywhere. Experience online learning with one of the first accredited virtual charter schools in Kansas. Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School right here in Lindsborg. We offer courses for traditional students grades 6 through 12, as well as adult and part-time programs. Advisors will guide you through a dynamic and engaging curriculum from a highly respected program. Learn more at smokyvalley.org.
Hi, this is Lucas Raleigh with Raleigh Insurance. If you're thinking about shopping your business's insurance, let us do the shopping for you with our newly expanded markets and carriers. As an independent agency, we've been working with large commercial accounts to small family businesses across Davis for over 50 years. Check out RaleighInsurance.biz, see me in Little River, or stop by Raleigh Insurance in Inman or Lyons today.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings have just put together a 10-play, 75-yard drive.
78. Started at the 22-yard line.
8-yard drive. It was a nice drive and highlighted by a Carson Peel 14-yard touchdown run. So the Vikings did what they needed to do, answer back. Now it's going to be up to the defense as Trevor Jones comes on to kick off. And it'll be up to the Vikings defense to stop Halstead now and get the ball back and possibly have a chance to get a little more score. We'll see what they end up doing.
Looks like it might be Stambaugh kicking off right now. I'm not sure why, but Stambaugh looks like he's kicking.
Okay. Christian is on the ground, bouncing up, caught up by one of the upbacks for Halstead, and he runs into his own guy about the 42-yard line. But there's where the rest of the Vikings, a shipload of Vikings, come and get the tackle made. But that ball went about 2 yards on the air and then bounced around, and hard telling where that was going to go.
I tell you, what a response by Smoky Valley.
Yeah.
It wasn't a quick response. They took time off the clock, 4.5-minute drive after they get scored on. Just very methodical, all running plays until the 2-point conversion to House. And all of a sudden, a 6-0 deficit is an 8-6 lead for Smoky Valley here at the 5:10 mark of the second quarter.
2 receivers each way for Halstead. Shotgun formation for the quarterback. Then going to hand it off to Creed up the middle. A couple of the Vikings have him. And there he's tackled for a gain of about 4 yards. Good effort by Creed again. He's a smooth,
I think that's
runner.
Gear. I think that's
Gear. I'm sorry.
I got those messed up earlier too, but
5 and 8 look too much alike to me.
Well, they switch it up so well between them.
Yeah.
I mean, but Gear, he was the one that ran so hard down at the goal line down here, and he did it again. But Vincent Pickering was in that backfield ready to get him, and unfortunately reached out with the arm. And you're not going to tackle a guy like that with your arm.
Nope. he's got a good play. Devine in shotgun formation again with 2 receivers wide each way. Quick snap and look to the side, still looking, going to go down the middle. He's got Gear wide open. He's got a big game. Vikings going to collapse on him, and he's going to get away from them, and he's going to be tackled about the 5-yard line by number 32 for the Vikings. That's Gustus. But wow, he came out of the backfield late and right down the middle of the field, and he was wide open, and Vikings did not have an answer, and it's 1st and goal for the Halstead Dragons.
Yeah, great play design. They sent guys to the left and to the right, and then they bring Gear out of the backfield, and you can literally see on the highlight here on the replay, you got Stambaugh breaking to the far side out of the middle, you've got Gustus breaking to the near side, and just this seam right down the middle for Gear. He breaks away, and thankfully a tackle made right at the inside the 5.
Devine under center, going to kind of flanker run, and number 9 is going to take it, and it looks like it's going to be just short of the touchdown. Haight with the run, and he's going to be just short. It's going to be 2nd down and goal from the less than 1-yard line.
Yeah, Haight coming off that slot position there, and they kind of do I guess you'd call it kind of a trap action there as they bring their right side slot in motion, but then bring him directly back, almost a misdirection play. They fake the ball up the middle. Haight is able to get the ball, and on the replay, he's about as close to the touchdown as you can get. So the 2-inch line I'll give him right here. And again, last time it was just pounded down the middle for him to get in the zone.
Under center goes Devine. Going to turn around and hand it off, and easy run in there for Gear. So they answer back in a quick fashion. Gear on the 1-yard run.
Yeah, it definitely did not take long. We talked about the Vikings taking a lot of time off the clock. I tell you, Halstead comes right out in shotgun. They run a running play. They go back to the gun again, hit the play down the seam there. Both plays to Gear out of the gate. They get the ball all the way down the field there and are able to get the inside handoff to Haight. And then the final blow there, Gear takes it in. So 4 plays for them on that drive to take it in.
58 yards.
Yep.
Wide receiver 2 on the near side for the 2-point conversion, 1 to the far side. Devine in shotgun formation, going to roll near side, still rolling. Going to throw a pass, and it's going to be knocked away or missed anyway. It's going to be incomplete. And our score with 3:25 left to go here in the second quarter. Vikings on top, trail now 12-8. We'll keep this one right here as the Vikings now have to regroup, and now they don't have quite so much time to go on a methodical drive. They're going to have to get a little quicker, but with the big runs that we're capable of putting together, we still have plenty of time.
You know, and the other thing is, they have a lot of guys that play both sides of the ball,
Sure,
just like we do.
Yeah,
but at the same time, there was not a lot of rest for their defense. I mean, we're going to come back out and try to pound the ball right back at them. That last drive was the one where we had them wore down a little bit. They had to use the timeout about halfway through that drive. And we still came out, were able to finish the drive off and get the score, and that was in 4.5 minutes. Now you see 3.5, 3:25 on the clock. Plenty of time for us to do what we have to do. The big key is limit penalties, and most certainly keep from turning over the ball here before the half. You're at a 12-8 disadvantage right now. You can go into the half like that, be okay, or have a chance to put up points on the board yet, and maybe even get close enough to see if Jones can come out and kick a field goal as well.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
It's not a windy day. He's got an opportunity, and if anything, it's blowing toward our end zone, so he's got the wind at his back a little bit.
Kind of an east wind, but we'll see what happens. And kicking it off is Burns. Back deep for the Vikings, Autry and Dower. Just kind of pooched it last time. It's another little pooch again. Dower's going to come up and take it about the 25-yard line. Going to fake a reverse, trying to get outside as Nolan. He's going to turn it upfield now, and he's going to end up getting up to about the 26-yard line. Just one of those things where you think, well, should I just go straight and take the ball right up the middle? Because he almost ran backwards for 2 or 3 yards trying to fake that reverse. But that's the play that you get the people shifting, and that's what you want to do. But
you're playing off the fact that they're going to over pursue.
Yeah.
You know, you're pumped up after scoring that touchdown. You want to go down and really make that big hit. You see where the kick is going. Everybody over pursues. The Vikings have had a lot of success for that. They've had some times where we haven't been that successful, but it's still a good enough play in the repertoire. You got to keep it there.
Wide receiver each way, I formation behind Carson, dropping back now. Statue of Liberty. Here comes the Meerkat out in the open. He's at the 40, 45, 50, 40, 35, and down at the 35-yard line. What a big play, one play. Statue of Liberty, little tuck the ball in my belly and I'll take it and run.
That was the play of choice last year, if you remember correctly. I think we busted that out in about game 3 or 2 or 3 last year. And here it was, already making an appearance in game 1. Peel going back, slips right behind the Meerkat, gives it to him, and he has a huge game. You know, Braxton's House trying not to get it called for a hold down here. Just couldn't quite get a big block to free him completely.
Here comes now. Oh, that play got busted up. Mark Carson ends up with the ball, and he gets tackled back, way back. He should get forward progress up to the 40 or 35-yard line, but they're going to say he go back to the 37, so it's going to be a loss of nearly 4 yards on the play. Second down and long now for the Vikings, but somebody in the middle for Halstead really busted that play up.
And I think the 37's about right, because he did break free of that first bunch. You know, if he doesn't break free of that, I think he's down at the 34, but when he did break free and finally got tackled there by number 45, Braden Logan, he was back at the 37, so a big loss on first down.
Toss outside to Autry trying to get the corner. Got a little bit of a seam, and he's going to get the first down gain, loss back. He'll get down inside the 35 to about the 32-yard line, where it's going to be second down and 10, or third down and 10.
Yeah, they stretched it out nicely, and it was a nice play over there by, I'm trying to see exactly what it was, if it was number 2 on the edge. Yeah, I think number 2 did a really nice job holding his space out there and didn't allow him, that was Corona, didn't allow him to get to the outside.
3 receivers to the near side this time now we got a flag on the play, and it's going to be offsides on Halstead, so march 5 yards off. The defense jumped a little bit, evidently. I wasn't watching them. I was kind of watching over here to the 3 receiver side, so
I'm going to give that one to Justin Holt.
Yep,
Justin Holt had a little head nod there to look at his quarterback in the gun, and when he did that, that caused the jump on the lineman. I think he thought the snap was coming. He jumped across. So again, there's just those little games that take place on that line of scrimmage, and Justin Holt won that one.
Back to wishbone formation for the Vikings on 3rd and 5. Turn and hand it off to Blanchard, trying that left side. He's got first down yardage and more across the 20 down to about the 19-yard line. We'll stop the clock. Minute 48 left to go here until halftime, and the Vikings inside the red zone now. Good effort.
Yeah, great timing here. I mean, you got plenty of time on the clock, 1:47 and counting, and you've got 3 timeouts. You've got a first down right now. Everything in the Viking favor right now. Just control the possession.
Wishbone formation again. Carson rolling right, still rolling, going to throw it down in the end zone. Oh, tipped. Braxton House was the intended receiver. I believe number 9, Haight, got his hand on that ball. He also had Blanchett in the flat there. He could have gone short to him and got another gain, but Blanchett was coming open, but he chose to go deep.
You know, he had Blanchett in the flat. Blanchett was blanketed by another Dragon there as well. But again, I think Carson had to throw that off his back foot due to the pressure. I think he really wanted to throw it deeper to the corner and give House a chance to be the only one to catch it, but there were a couple of Halstead Dragons right there as well. 2 receivers far side, tight end left, I formation. Here comes Blanchett, or Stambaugh up the middle. And that's going to go for no gain on the play. Big number 70 in there, along with 67. Good. He's a freshman, and now somebody's calling a timeout. I think that's the Vikings will call timeout on this one now with a minute 29 left to go. We'll keep this one right here again. Facing third and a long 9 for the Vikings, and now you got to decide what to do. You're giving them a look at a couple passes. Obviously, your strength is running, and Halstead certainly didn't know what to expect. Yeah, and picking up 0 on a play there puts you a little bit behind the 8 ball. And, the board's got us at 2nd and 10. I'm pretty sure it's 3rd and 10 right here, according to the sticks down there on the field.
Yeah.
But you got 3rd and 10. Again, I'm not quite sure what our status is as far as our kicker. Obviously, Stambaugh went out and did the kickoff. And I don't know what Jones's range has been as far as being able to kick that field goal. But again, the risk you put into that field goal is if it gets blocked, that could swing momentum as well. So I can see, of course, knowing Coach Lambert as well as we think we do, a play here that could pick up 5 or 6, might be a pass in the flat, might be a run, something that gives them a manageable fourth down play, but then allow your athletes to give you a chance to pick that first down up.
We'll see how it unfolds here. They're going to go two receivers on the far side, I formation behind Carson, who's going to go under center. Long play count, still looking, going to roll out. Now he's going to go back, still drifting. Now he's going to tuck the ball, throw it out in the flat to Pickering. He's got first down yardage and more going for the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Vincent Pickering. That play took a long time to develop. But Carson just waited and waited and waited and waited for Vincent Pickering. I don't know where he came from. He was a tight end on the left side here.
He was tight end on the left. It's a little slip out, a little bleed out play. Actually pretty well covered. Number 45 is on top of him for just a little bit. That was Braden Logan, but he slipped right behind Logan. But the biggest key to that, I think, was the time he had in the backfield there.
Yeah.
The O-line did such a great job protecting him. He steps up in the pocket, delivers the ball. Pickering takes it to the house.
2-point conversion with Blanchard on the left side. It is good. And our score with 1:19 left to go before halftime. The Vikings up 16-12. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
Tonight's coverage of Viking football continues next with the First Bank of Kansas halftime report. Coming up, we'll recap tonight's first half and catch you up on other scores around the area. The Smoky Valley Vikings play on Mix 96.7.
Hi, this is James with IDXA. We love bringing internet freedom.
On Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindster Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College. The Vikings have put together a 6-play, 74-yard drive, highlighted by, what was the Meerkats run?
Let's
about
see.
50 yards.
Yeah, I took it from about what they started at the 26 all the way down, I think, to about the 30-yard line, somewhere in there, because we lost back to the 37 on that play. So, again, just a nice run to get things started. And them getting pushed back and being able to still, a penalty there that really helped the Vikings, aided them. And what a great pass play there. Peel to Pickering, they get the touchdown. Well, and then they get the 2 points.
Like you mentioned, the offensive line giving Carson time for that play to develop. Here's the line drive kick bouncing in the, that's now mishandled by the two backs before Halstead, way back at the 12-yard line. And he's going to get out of there and going to get tackled by House way back about the 15 or 16-yard line. So that's where Halstead will have it. That's going to be their worst field position of the half here. And with about a minute and 13 seconds, the Vikings have 2 timeouts, but I certainly wouldn't expect Halstead to try anything fancy here.
Yeah, a quiet first quarter. 0-0. Really exploded into a volatile second quarter there for both teams. And that gets you a little bit worried still with 113, the way both have been increasing their speed at their ability to score here. Now, if you're Smoky Valley, you got to watch out for that deep ball here that they've been really good at delivering.
So 1st and 10, they're going to go in shotgun formation with 2 receivers each way now. Man in motion to the near side. Rolling out is Devine, looking downfield. It's going to be caught by Nojai. Nojai. I can't get that name in my head. Sorry about that, Halstead fans, if you're listening. A pickup of about 8 on the play. Under a minute left to go here in the first half. The line goes to his wrist to look at the play. He goes under center this time. Now flanker in motion. Now going to be a reverse around the edge. Number 11's got some running room outside, but what a tackle. Is that Max Beaker on that or Nolan Dower?
One of them. Beaker over there. Beaker made
wow.
a great stick on that play. That was
put his shoulder pad right into the runner. They got the first down, but that was it. Beaker made sure he wasn't going to go any farther than that. We're quickly setting the play clock in motion again, or the game clock in motion. And the quarterback passes it to spike the ball. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 with 33 seconds left to go now.
Still a lot of field to go, but of course those 2 timeouts that Halstead used earlier makes this drive a little bit more difficult. Obviously still back here within their own, or just right at their own 30-yard line with a chance here to push the ball off the field. But again, you wonder how many trick plays you have in the book already here to start the season. Obviously the Vikings already used their Statue of Liberty play for a big gain. You had their crease seam play here earlier from Halstead. They got them down the field. Again, you just want, as the Vikings, keep the game in front of you and be able to run out this last 33 seconds.
Second down and 10. Man in motion to the far side. Pitch to the far side, trying to get outside. Beaker right there to tackle the play. Oh, that wasn't Beaker. That was Ethan Abel. Came up from his safety position. And now somebody called a timeout here on the play. I don't know if it's the Vikings. They're thinking about making them punt here, maybe.
There's a flag down, actually.
Okay. And it's a penalty on Halstead, so back him up. See what the penalty is. If it's holding or if it's an illegal block or something. See where they
yeah, there's going to be a hold.
Sort this out.
I think he showed the signal for a hold on that call,
Okay.
and it looks like it's probably going to be marked off there from, the 31? Looks like that's where the flag's sitting.
So back him up 10 yards from that. Under the 21-yard line. It'll be second down and basically 20 yards for the Halstead Dragons. They break the huddle. With two receivers wide each way. They line the quarterback in shotgun formation with Gear right beside him, dripping back, looking over here on the flats, going deep. And then Nolan Dower's going to pick it off at the 40-yard line. He's got some room up the middle, 30, 20, and driven out of bounds about the 20-yard line. A vicious hit there by number 56 on the tackle, Herman, to knock him out of bounds. But the Vikings now with a chance to add. There is a flag back here in the backfield. Are they going to call the Vikings for pass interference before the...
I don't know if it's in the backfield. I think it's back here where he picked it off. Right here, there's one at the 42 right here.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're going to call...
I think that's going to be a block in the back possibly on the Vikings. Yeah, I think they're going to get a block in the back right after the pick. And I tell you, it's questionable at best. I don't think I get fined here, do I?
No.
I think he had contact in front. I think his head's around. It's going to be Cade Blanchett. I tell you, that's a tough call right there. I don't know if you can see it on the replay, but I thought he got hand in the front. But either way you look at it, the call's made. It's going to move the Vikings back here with
cross midfield.
Yeah, definitely different than having the ball down at the 25 with an opportunity to maybe run a couple of plays there. But
you could throw it in the end zone maybe, but you'll see what the Vikings decide to do here on the 52-yard line. 52 yards to score here on this play.
Well, let's put it this way. Dower doesn't get down there without that block.
Nope.
If it's a clean block, we're at the 25. It's called a penalty, and we're not. So the Vikings are going to take a knee. It looks like they'll go in here content.
And Carson will take a knee, and we will get to halftime here with the score. Smoky Valley 16, Halstead 12. What a good half of football it's been. We'll be back to wrap this one up for you after these timeouts.
Tonight's coverage of Viking football continues next with the first.
The Wildfires would like to thank their 2022-2023 sponsors: Bethany College, Power Welding, First Grade Kansas, Indigo Move, Jessica Decker, Realtor, Winsburg Community Hospital, Long Construction Co., McPherson College, NF Marketing, People's Bank and Trust, Smoky Valley Vineyards and Winery, Smoky Valley Arts and Folk Life Center, and the Trinity Club. The Wildfires will be dancing tonight to I Don't Know About You, taught by Raina Decker and Addison Ebert. The Wildfires are Lauren Donizo, Jordan Flores, Olivia Ford, Raina Decker, Addison Ebert, Esther Clark, Tatum Reed, Tessa Replicol, Haley Cabillas, Keely Friesen, and Sarah McCulloch. Winners of the halftime kickoff, please report to the south side end zone. Winners are Dylan Opat, Bruce Swisher, and first name only, Rylan.
We understand that when you need ag tires, you need them now, not 3 weeks from now. That's why we've built up our inventory to make sure we'll probably have something for you.
Hey, it's Gabe at Midway Motors, inviting you in for our fall tire event. Right now, Midway is selling all tires at $1 over cost. That's right, $1 over cost. Check out this great special and schedule today at midwaymotors.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Kinniston with McPherson Dental Care. At McPherson Dental Care, we have multiple registered hygienists on location to help schedule your family for convenience. You will receive high-quality dental care and build positive relationships with our experienced staff in a pleasant and reassuring atmosphere. We are always accepting new patients, so be sure to give us a call at 620-241-5000 or visit us at our website at McPhersonDentalCare.com for more information. McPherson Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Kaufman Funeral Home in Halstead, serving the area for you.
Coach Myers has been coaching and leading Kansas high school kids for 45 years, with 35 of those being at Smoky Valley High School. Coach's legacy at Smoky Valley runs deep and extends over generations of families and students. The following is a list of teams that Coach has been involved with that have finished in the top 3 in state competition. 1988 football state champions. 1991 football runner-up. 1992 girls track and field state champions. 1993 girls track and field state champions. 1996 boys track and field runner-up. 2019 girls track and field 3rd place. 2019 boys track and field runner-up. 2020 boys cross country runner-up. 2021 girls track and field state champions. 2021 boys cross country 3rd place. And 2022 girls track and field state champions. We should also note that we are fully convinced that had the 2020 track and field season had not been canceled, girls track and field would have won state that year as well and would be the back-to-back state champions. To add to his accomplishments, Coach Myers was named the 2019 Boys Track and Field Coach of the Year and the 2021 Girls Track and Field Coach of the Year. One of his proudest achievements in recent years was qualifying the entire girls cross-country team for state for the first time in school history in the year 2021. In the 2022 season, the girls track and field team went through the season winning every meet except one, where they placed second, including earning Central Kansas League champions, regional champions, and state champions. At the state meet, our girls accounted for medals in 11 events and doubled the team point total of the second place team. For his dominating and memorable season, Coach Myers has been named the 2022 Kansas Coaches Association Girls Track and Field Coach of the Year. Congratulations to Coach Myers on his very well-deserved recognition. We are ready for the halftime TV performance. For anybody that makes the field goal,
Tech.com and click on check availability or call 620-543-5000 to inquire about our services.
Allen Samuels and Hutch is proud to support our community and local businesses, and we promise to continue to do so. Follow us on Facebook and join in our weekly giveaways. Check out our website at allensamuelshutch.com for our new inventory arriving daily. And remember, Ladies' Day is every Tuesday for discounted oil changes, tire rotation, and a free car wash. Allen Samuels on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine and Hutch. We always have a warm cup of coffee waiting, and that's why Mr. Samuels always says,
"Come by, let's be friends."
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Lindstrom Brothers Field, Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings are leading the Halstead Dragons by the score of 16-14, or 16-12, excuse me, a 4-point lead. You got some stats for us, Doug. We're going to be joined by our new superintendent, Heath Hogan, here in just a little bit, but let's go over the stats first.
Let's start, first of all, with Halstead. Halstead tonight, 153 yards on 25 plays, averaging 6.1 yards per play. They got 103 yards through the air on 4 of 6 passing. That 4 of 6 coming by Tucker Devine. He does have one interception as well. That, of course, that pick right before the half. So 4 of 6, 103 yards for Devine with the one pick. 50 yards rushing on 19 attempts, including Skylar Gear, 23 yards and 2 touchdowns on 9 attempts. Owen Farmer, 3 carries for 11 yards. Tucker Devine, 4 carries for 9 yards. Owen Haight, 2 carries for 7 yards. And Breeson Bigley has 1 carry but has not picked up any yardage. Meanwhile, receiving-wise, they have 4 grabs for 103 yards. Of course, the big ones there. Skylar Gear catching the ball on the seam, 1 grab, 50 yards. Zane, I'm going to butcher his name as well. You're going to McNoisia. 2 grabs, 46 yards. Of course, the big catch early, and Owen Farmer had 1 grab for 7 yards. Along with that, 4 penalties for 30 yards on behalf of Halstead. They also had the 1 turnover via the air. No punts in the first half for either team. 8 first downs, 4 of those via the rush, 2 via the pass. They were 2 for 4 on 3rd down, 0 for 2 on 4th down. The Vikings, meanwhile, 203 yards of total offense compared to that 153 for Halstead. The Vikings also had the ball for 31 total plays, as Halstead only had 25. So the Vikings, 6.5 yards per carry, 33 yards through the air. Of course, Carson Peel, 2 for 3, the one big touchdown pass to Vincent Pickering just before the half. And so he's 2 for 3, 33 yards. Receiving-wise, obviously Vincent Pickering, the one grab, 19 yards, had the score. Justice Autry also caught one ball for 14 yards as well. Meanwhile, on the ground, Smoky Valley's really been solid, dominant even. 170 yards on 28 carries. That's 6.1 yards a lug. Justice Autry, the Meerkat, leading the charge. 9 carries, 68 yards. Tristan Stambaugh, the pound and ground, 8 carries, 39 yards. Cade Blanchett, 5 big carries for 33 yards. And then Carson Peel had his 6 carries for 30 yards and the touchdown as well. Other stats for the Vikings, 2 penalties for 25 yards. They did have the 1 turnover on the fumble in the first quarter that stopped a drive on 4th down. Again, no punts for them. 11 first downs to the 8 first downs for Halstead, 9 of those via the rush, 2 via the pass. 4 for 7 on 3rd down, whereas 2 for 4 for Halstead, and both teams 0 for 2 on 4th down conversions. Total time of possession, Vikings had the ball for 13 minutes and 19 seconds. The Halstead Dragons, 9 minutes, 22 seconds. Leading tacklers for the Vikings in the first half, Caleb Gustus had 4, Ethan Abel had 4, Beaker 2.5, Cade Blanchett 2, Gus Griffith 2, Nolan Dower 2, and of course had the 1 interception as well.
And now we're joined by Heath Hogan, the new superintendent here, and welcome to Viking country. And the first half of football entertained you pretty good.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great to see everybody come out tonight and support the Vikings. Got a good crowd, and certainly been exciting from the field's perspective.
Well, tell us a little bit about your background. You come from Garden City, but did you grow up on a farm? Did I hear that you grew up on a farm?
I grew up in actually 8 different states in my young career. My dad was in agriculture, and we moved all over the country, but most of my time as a youth was spent in northern Nevada. We had a 385,000-acre ranch there that he ran. What led him to move to Garden City was to run a feed yard south of town, and that got me to follow my parents and started out in Garden City that way. Finished my degree while I was there, and ultimately got into teaching. And my whole career actually was spent in Garden City, 25 years.
Oh, wow. Well, what do you think of Central Kansas so far? You've got just a couple of months under your belt as the administrator for Smoky Valley, but things are off to a really good start here for the school year.
Yeah, absolutely. Great start. We're luckily fully staffed. Not every school district in our area or across the state can say that. And I think that's a testament to Smoky Valley Public Schools and all the things that we have to offer, not only for our kids, but our great staff that we have too. But we certainly offer to a good start. Lots of activities happening this time of year. Of course, Friday night football tonight, but we had cross country this week, middle school volleyball. We had tennis yesterday as well. So it's fired up, and we're very busy.
And it's been successful. We're sitting here by the new volleyball coach, Doug Snyder's only had 1 defeat with 8 or 9 wins, and tennis has been off to a great start. But, yeah, also the kids have to go to school, have to go to classes. How about all the classwork and all the nuts and bolts of the education system?
Yeah, well, we have, like I mentioned, we have great staff. We have great teachers supporting our kids, and those student athletes certainly have a little extra. You know, they have to balance their life and their activities that they have. And yes, our volleyball coach has been doing wonderful, and it's been fabulous to watch. I'm a big volleyball fan, so I chimed in via the live stream last weekend and watched the girls have a great, successful weekend, and look forward to what they're going to produce for the rest of the year.
And your family, you got your wife and your daughter finishing up at school in Garden City. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Married, and I have 3 girls, 23, 20, and 17. And so my oldest, she actually played volleyball close to here. She played 2 years at Hutch Community College and then transferred to WSU. My middle daughter is on a music scholarship at Friends, and my youngest is a senior at Garden City High School. And so for this year, while we finish her school out, my wife and her are staying there, and we get her off to college, then we'll move out here. We're looking for a place right now, and we'll move her out here and get settled in.
What's been the highlight so far? If you could pick one highlight that's been, you could kind of say this is what really has been top-notch so far this year?
Well, to me, the highlight of coming to Smoky Valley is the people, for sure. Not only, our school family that we have there, how welcoming everybody has been, but our community as a whole. Just everybody's just open arms, welcome me, extremely friendly. And that atmosphere is just so inviting, and, I think that's a tribute, again, to why we are full staff, why people want to be here, is just this great local community.
Well, we really appreciate the job you've done, and appreciate you coming up to visit with us. And
I heard a rumor his favorite staff was the English department. That's all I heard, and I'm going to stick with that.
I'm not going to confirm nor deny. Thank you, guys. You do a great job. I appreciate you giving me some time, and go Vikes.
Go Vikings, no question about that. We'll turn it back to the station for our final timeout. We'll be back in a couple minutes for the second half. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football.
Vimco is a manufacturing leader in quality products. From weather protection to rollover protection to sun protection, Vimco's engineers can produce a top quality finished product for almost any piece of equipment. Vimco's years of experience in the safety and weather protection industry will ensure you get a reliable product that satisfies your need. Vimco, located on West 1st and McPherson, has got you covered. Check out their website at vimcomfg.com. Wishing all the area teams the best of luck.
Kaufman Funeral Home in Halstead, serving the area for 3 generations since 1943. Kaufman Funeral Home is Harvey County's only family-owned forethought funeral home. Good luck to the Halstead Dragons.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
You can come back anytime because they're getting ready to... And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings are going to kick off to Halstead here to start the second half. The Vikings with that 16-12 lead, and Vikings have always been a good second half team. Doug, what do you think they talked about at halftime?
I think that they talked about those little trick gadget pass plays. I mean, really have to shut that down.
Kick, line drive, bouncing on the turf, going to be picked up by one of the deep guys. Now it bounced off his leg, and boy, he's lucky to get that because the Vikings were right there. That was one of those balls that was kind of a 50-50 ball till the very last minute.
So he lost control right about the time he was trying to pick that up, and then lucky to get it. And the moment he gets it at the 26-yard line, immediately hit by a swarm of Vikings there, able to take him down. I think led by big number 73 there. I think that was one of the Baker boys. I think that was Zeke, if I'm not mistaken. First one in on the tackle, able to make that play.
So 1st and 10, Halstead, wide receiver each way, slot each way, and then tailback behind Devine, who goes under center. Now man in motion now back to the back. That's Gear. Gets a handoff right up the middle, and he's going to get wrapped up. Good play in there by number 70 for the Vikings. That's an excellent tackle by Gus Griffith.
Yeah, nice job by the middle of the Viking defensive line. They're able to make a play and really just stacking things up. But again, Halstead going back to their game plan. It's only 16-12. You're not out of it. You threw that pick right before the half. It looked like the Vikings were going to have the ball 20 yards away from the end zone. Instead, get pushed back by the penalty. And so now you're in a good spot. You just want to continue to get your offense going. And they just have time. 3-4 yards of play is good for them.
Second down and 8 for Halstead. Man in motion again. Here's a toss going outside and running through one tackle. But hanging on was number 32, Gustus. Good effort as he got kind of run over, but still hung on. And gave up about 3 yards on the play, but it's going to be 3rd and a long 4 for the Dragons.
Thought that looked like Adler Davidson on that one, number 12. Is that what you saw?
I think so,
I think that was. I hadn't seen him run much in the first half. Wasn't their starting running back, but again, he provides them a nice 1-2 punch here. Gear, of course, had a great first half for
him. He certainly did. Under center goes Devine. Same formation. Going to drop back and pass. Now a little pass over here in the flat. Caught. And good defense, but I think you got enough for the first down on forward progress. Knoxnage had the catch, and Nolan Dower right there on coverage, but he just pushed him back far enough that he got an extra half a yard that he needed for the first down. So they moved the sticks.
Zane Magnosia making a nice catch. It's just a nice little hitch play right there on the near side. Not a long pass play because they're already on these hash closest to us. Just a quick play, able to get the first down again. 3-4 yards of play, all they're looking for.
Devine looking over the Viking defense, going on kind of a reverse play, slot, and he's going to get 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 yards before the Vikings bring him down about the 45-yard line. Good running in there by number 11, Farmer.
And again, this is one of those offenses that if you're not disciplined about your
assignment,
rule, your assignment, where you need to be, and again, Halstead may also be, doing some different things that they adjusted to at halftime as well, based on how Smoky Valley played those plays. And so there's some adjustments on both sides of the field right now.
So second down and short for Halstead here at the 45-yard line. Blanker in motion now, back around again. The quarterback's going to keep it himself, trying to get outside, gets away from Pickering, and it's going to get first down yardage up near the 49-yard line. So good run by Devine, the quarterback. Vincent Pickering had him. He still would have had the first down, but he got a couple of extra yards, and Halstead gets their second first down of this drive.
Nolan Dower was actually the first one to get there as Pickering was following from behind, but I tell you, he makes a big play because if Magnosia could get that block, I think it could open up that play for a lot more, but I think Dower breaking off of that was able to make that play.
So first down Halstead right at midfield, just a few inches short of midfield. Just underway in the third quarter. Vikings have the 16-12 lead. Same formation for Halstead. Wide receivers split each way, flankers split each way. Devine under center. Now Devine looking, he's going to get pressured in there and has to hurry the throw. Intended receiver is Gear House on coverage, but boy, somebody for the Vikings, I think that was Gustus, breathing down his neck.
Caleb Gustus came in from the near side, untouched, just able to come in and just attack off of his linebacker position, and he was right there a split second before, split second after the release of the ball. Any sooner, I think he might have been able to knock that ball out.
Yeah, he knew he was coming anyway. He felt the pressure.
He saw him out of the corner of his eye for sure, and I think that led to the incompletion. That ball had to be pretty accurate to be complete over there.
Second down and 10, same formation for Devine under center. And in motion again, going to go belly play up the middle to number 12, and he's going to get about 5 yards down to the 45-yard line. Good hard running in there by Davidson.
Yeah, that's Davidson again. They're getting a healthy dose of Davidson here in this half after seeing Gear a lot in the first half. I haven't seen if Gear's been out on the field or not.
Yeah, he is. He's out there.
But, again, the Vikings have their 1-2-3 punch, and even, once you get past that, an option of adding Carson Field to that mix besides Stambaugh, Autry, and also Blanchett. You're starting to see some of that now from Halstead as well.
This time, Devine will go into shotgun formation. Gear is one of the flankers on the far side. Yeah. So he's out there, no question about that. And they drop back to pass, looking at pressure coming in the flat. Oh, good hit by Nolan Dower on the intended receiver, Farmer, but that was good timing by Nolan Dower.
Yeah, beautiful timing. He comes out from his corner position here, able to make a play. Tell you, they laid off a little bit there and let him stay in front. They tried to get a little quick out, and he cut that play beautifully. If he leads them any more on that, I think Dower picks that off. He's in a perfect spot, but the ball was put right on top of the receiver, and that allowed Dower to be able to go in and make the play and break it up.
Halstead was 0 for 2 in the fourth downs in the first half. Now they're facing another fourth down here early third quarter. Shotgun formation. He's going to punt it away. It's a kick. It's a wobbly kick. It's going to go out of the way, and it's going to be a short kick, but it does get the ball down to near the 32-yard line. So that's where the Vikings will take over 1st and 10. So the bend but don't break defense did its job that time and got the punt away.
It really did. Yeah, that was a close play there. That ball caromed off at the 32 and almost hit Nolan Dower in the backside there, and that, of course, would have been a live ball at that point in time. I don't think he knew the ball had been kicked. He was engaged with it.
I heard him hollering at him.
Yeah, they were trying, but when you get engaged down there, it's kind of tough to hear. But either way you look at it, Vikings get the stop, and now they take over here at their own 32.
Wide receiver each way for the Vikings. I formation behind Carson Peel. He's going to try to keep it himself. No, he hands it off to Stambaugh, who's going to get about 2 yards up the middle before he's tackled, and it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Vikings.
Coach Lambert not pleased about something after that play. I don't know if somebody missed a block or let somebody get through, but he definitely, Griffith got pushed back there pretty hard on that play, was stood up, and that really allowed them to get back in the backfield a little bit on that play.
So 2nd and 8 here, 7.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Vikings up by 16-12 at their first possession of the half. Here's the Meerkat going and twisting and turning and up near the 45-yard line for first down yardage. That's just a hop and a skip and nice real estate picked up by the Meerkat.
I tell you, as angry as Coach Lambert was about the blocking on play one, he was equally as ecstatic about that play, because all the linemen got an engage on that. They all pushed their block back 2 to 3 yards. Griffith, I called him out on the play before. He has a pancake 6 yards down the field.
Wishbone formation this time for the Vikings. Here comes Stambaugh busting it up the middle. He's still going. And the last guy hangs on to him to make the tackle at the 38-yard line. So a big pickup of about 15 or 16 yards from Tristan Stambaugh.
Yeah, Cullen Corona was the only guy between Stambaugh and the end zone, because he was roaring out of there. Great tackle by Corona to get him around the waist and hold on to a little bit of a ride. That's all he had to do. But he was actually kind of standing there, thought the play was over, and then had a little burst and was able to catch him.
Back to I formation this time. Blanchett goes as the wide receiver flanker to the far side. Turn and hand it off to the Meerkat, trying to bust through the middle. He's got some room. He gets wrapped up about the 30 down to the 29-yard line, very close to first down yardage for Justice Autry.
Yeah, Autry got right through that middle. Again, some great blocking, blowing up that right-hand side, created a huge hole over there. Tell you, Ethan Abel, he's one of the slots that come in as well. Him and House bring the play in and out. Ethan had a nice block on that right side as well.
It was a big hole for Autry on that play. First down yardage on the carry. Back to wishbone formation for the Vikings. Here comes Blanchett trying that left side. He's got a seam to run up there. He's down inside the 20-yard line. Very close to first down yardage on that carry.
We talked about it in the first half. Establishing your dominance up front, being able to wear down a defense, and you're seeing that right now. You thought you saw it a little bit from Halstead as they started their opening drive of the second half, but then the Vikings stiffened their defense, were able to get the stop. Now you're seeing Smoky Valley do the same thing to Halstead. Can Halstead hold here, or are the Vikings going to continue to push in for, I think, what could be a huge touchdown this game?
And I don't know if it we'll talk about that in a minute, but they're back to wishbone formation on this play. There's Stambaugh running it right up the middle again to get first down yardage inside the 15 down to about the 7, or inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. But each time they go I formation, wishbone formation, if that causes Halstead a little bit of concern on the defense if you can't get lined up the way they want to.
Yeah, I think mixing it up a little bit helps, but I tell you, I think we really like the wishbone down toward the goal line. I think we love having those blockers there. You got Pickering there. You got House on the outside. You got the tight splits.
Wishbone formation again. Here comes the Meerkat trying the right side. He's got a little bit of room. This time it's a little power run down inside the 10-yard line. It's going to be second and 1 for the Vikings. Almost a 9-yard pickup by Autry on that play.
Again, nice run inside the tackle, allowing the tight end and the tackle to push out. He finds that little crease, that little seam. And again, our first 2 steps are downhill. We're going right at the defense, and we're able to find that hole that the line's creating. And really, that's all happened since play 1 of this drive when Coach was upset. The line has responded, done what he's asked him to do.
Still in wishbone formation. Here comes Blanchett trying the left side. He sneaks through inside the 5-yard line and gets ridden down. But it's first down yardage now. It's going to be first and goal from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, number 70, Reddy Wallace, the freshman, 245-pounder in there. He was able to make the tackle and ride him to the ground. But like you said, not until they got the first down, and the first down inside the 5. So what a great drive. Started at the 8:01 mark. We're at 4:34 and counting right now.
Stay in that wishbone formation now inside the 5-yard line at first and goal. Carson under center. Counting it out. Here comes Stambaugh. No, here comes Blanchett. He bounces off one and falls into the end zone for the touchdown. Touchdown, Smoky Valley at the 4:21 mark.
Yeah, beautiful run there from the 4-yard line by Blanchett. They fake the ball inside to Stambaugh, give it to the second guy through, which is Blanchett, just to the left, and he's able to take it in for the score, and that puts the Vikings up 22-12 here at the 4:21 mark of the third quarter. So big play, big drive as they go down the field from the 32-yard line. So a 68-yard drive. I had it in 8 plays. So a great play down the field here by the Vikings.
2-point conversion again for the Vikings in wishbone formation. They passed out of this last time. See what they're going to do this time. Carson rolling out. No, he's going to hand it off to Blanchett. He's going to be in for the 2-point conversion. And our score with 4:21 left to go in the third quarter. Vikings 24, Halstead 12. Back after this 30-second timeout.
most important elements of success is knowing when to expand and when to focus on strengthening what you have. At People's Bank and Trust, we've done just that over the years, ensuring that we always have a solid base to provide for our customers and our community. At People's Bank and Trust, we never promise more than we can deliver. And what we deliver is safe, sound, reliable banking that puts you first. Let us put our experience to work for you and your family. People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Leinster Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings did just what they needed to do. They got a stop on the opening drive for Halstead and then took the ball 8 plays, 68 yards for the score, and open up a 24-12 lead, and that's just what the doctor ordered.
It was a huge drive. Again, they just stormed down the field, making big plays, but then grinding a few plays out as well. Just continue to push, and a beautiful 4-yard score by Cade Blanchett to push the Vikings up 24-12 here. And again, a big aspect of that is every time we've scored, we've gotten a 2-point conversion. That's another touchdown on the board ultimately.
Stambaugh's kick is going to go on the ground again. It's bouncing way down in the corner, and it's going to keep going. It's inside the 5-yard line and picked up by Halstead. He's going to try to get out of there, but Owen Farmer, he gets up to about the 9-yard line. But what a kick by Stambaugh. That was he just couldn't find the handle.
That was a beautiful kick. It just rolled and rolled and rolled.
I think he was trying to see if it was going to go out of bounds, but it just never got close enough to the out of bounds line. And
I have never hit a golf shot that well.
No.
Never hit one that stayed right there, but that ball was right down the sideline.
Might always get into the out of bounds.
If there's a water hazard there, I would have hit it. I guarantee that. But beautiful play there. Gavin Stambaugh in the tackle, a sophomore, able to get that finish on that play. But again, they start deep in their own end, after just getting pummeled on the defensive end on that last possession by Smoky Valley. So this is a big drive for Halstead right here.
2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Devine goes under center. Got 2 flankers, or a flanker and a tailback. Gear is a tailback, and he's got big running room up the middle. He's got first down yardage and more, where they really needed that one. They got out to near the 25-yard line, so a big burst by Gear.
We mentioned they went to a little different look with Adler Davidson running the ball, and instead now they go back to Gear, and it looks like now number 9 is down for Halstead. That's Haight.
This injury report timeout is sponsored by Summit Surgical Care and Pinnacle Rehabilitation. Sports performance, schedule your free consultation at summitkansas.com. The Summit together for exceptional health care. I hope that he's going to be okay. Probably looks like just a cramp. They're working on his leg a little bit, kind of stretch it out a little bit. It is hot, but it's it's humid. It's kind of comfortable now. A little bit.
I don't know if comfortable is the name right now. I'm hot over here, but I did switch to an indoor sport this year, and I'm hopeful there's air conditioning everywhere. But no, it's steamy. It's one of those, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong, and it just kind of weighs on you a little bit. And like we said before, practice is one thing, but you get out here and you have to constantly deal with that block every single time of the guy across from you. That adds a little bit to the day, and so he does go off the field on his own power. Looks like he's doing fine. Yep, Hates. It looks like he's going to be okay. Going to work that cramp out. So we're ready to get rolling again.
So first and 10 Halstead, as they got that big play out of the inside their 10-yard line, so they got out from the shadow of their own goalposts. Devine will go under center. He's got 2 wide receivers, not very wide this time, 2 flankers, and Gear behind him in the backfield. Now Farmer on the run. They're going to pitch to Farmer on the outside, trying to get outside. Vikings stringing it out. Oh, what a tackle by Max Beaker. Whoa, he just shot underneath everybody and took his feet out from underneath him.
Tell you, Beaker just doing his job, holding his assignment out there, doing exactly what he needed to do. And when the play presented itself, he broke off the block, was able to get through. And again, he just threw the block aside, able to make that tackle immediately on Farmer.
See if I can get you to type that score in and send it for me, our score anyway, 24-12. 2 receivers near side now, way outside, and 1 to the far side for Devine, who stays under center and will hand off the Gear up the middle. He's got some running room across the 30, 35, 40. He's got to beat Ethan Abel, and Ethan slows him up enough to get a little help from Gustus, but up near the 49-yard line, big play for the Halstead Dragons. Couple big plays on this drive.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to stop watching play if they're going to keep having big plays while I'm doing things here. So,
well, they're going to call a timeout. Coach Lambert upset with his defense here, so we're going to keep it right here. We owe you a McPherson Dental Care scoreboard update, so we're going to try to put our score in and send it to our group of announcers, and then we'll try to read some of the scores that we have. I know McPherson's up on Great Bend is one of the scores that we got. Sedgwick playing, and got some more here. Sterling 21, Remington 8 at the half. Trinity 17, Sedgwick 6 at the half. McPherson was up 27-7 at the half. We appreciate McPherson Dental with the score update for us.
Yeah, we also appreciate the stream tonight on Ad Astra radio app powered by the Next Tech Wireless. Shop the latest phones and devices at the best prices. Next Tech Wireless, we are Kansas. You can also catch the live.smokyvalley.org live stream as well. I believe Mike Rose said earlier we were at about 115 viewers tonight. We're now up to 136 viewers as well. So a good turnout here for opening night.
Sterling added some score. They're up 27-8. Here comes the play. Toss to the near side for Greer, and he's across midfield and down to the 44 or 46-yard line. Pick up about 5 on the play. It'll be second down and 5, and all of a sudden Halstead kind of decided to get with it.
Yeah, they took over at the 9-yard line after that kickoff, and 4 plays later, they're all the way in the Smoky Valley territory here at the 46. So 45 yards already that they've moved down the field. Just been very methodical about what they wanted to do.
So second down and 5, 1 receiver far side, 2 flankers, quarterback under center, Gear the tailback. Turn and roll out in trouble. Here's Gustus again, and there's Blanchett all over the intended receiver over there. He had him smothered. That was Haight who's come back out of that cramp injury, and he had no chance to catch that ball.
Yeah, great coverage on that play by Blanchett, but again, good to see Haight back in the game as well.
No question about that.
Just a nice play there, and good coverage, like I said. And also, like you mentioned, Gustus was back there again in the backfield, making things difficult for the quarterback.
So third down and 5 now for the Dragons. Double tight, double flanker. Got a bunch there, everybody right together there close. Now in motion comes Haight, Gear up the middle. He's got first down yardage and more. He's a shifty runner. He gets hung on to by Beaker at the 35-yard line and then falls forward about the 32. So a pickup of about 12 on the play. Move the chains again for the Halstead Dragons, and it's been Mr. Gear the whole way.
Yeah, Beaker makes a huge play. I thought he was going to come out of there with a shoe. I'm not sure if he did.
Well, he's putting it on now.
He did. I thought he was going to. I couldn't tell if he actually got it or not, but he wiggles out of the shoe and is able to pick up another yard or two. But I tell you, Gear has been very successful tonight in what he's done. I was going to take a peek here and see if we can find out how many yards he has on the night. It looks like at this point in time he's up to, well, we still have him in the first quarter here. Sorry, I'll get that in a minute.
First down and 10, dropping back to pass, looking over in the flat now. He pulls up down and going to run. Trying to get outside. He's got room across the 30, 25. And nice tackle by Beaker, but not till he got first down yardage on the run on the busted play. And what a nice job for Devine.
All the receivers came to the near side. Every one of the routes was to the near side. He gave a little pump fake. All the defense shifted to the near side. Then he breaks to the outside, and he's able to pick up a nice gain and get a first down. Or they're going to mark it.
They're going to measure.
Stick.
It's right at the stick. I think it's a first down.
I think he got it. Depends upon how tight they have the sticks pulled over there. But I wanted to mention Gear now up to 83 yards on 14 carries. So he's had a solid night. I also want to say Justice Autry 3 yards away from a 100-yard night as well. He's got 12 carries for 97 yards.
Who is our chain gang over there? We haven't said credit to them again for doing a great job, but do you know?
No, I'm going to leave that up to you. You can visualize it from here. I'm not sure who it is tonight. I think Larry Vanderweg's over there. I think he's one of them.
I think maybe Mr. Heitschmidt, Darren Heitschmidt might be one.
Yep. Can't quite tell who's on the very far end over
We'll find out for you before the next home game for sure. They're kind of an unsung heroes over there. Wide receiver to the near side. Wide receiver to the far side. A couple of flankers and a tailback behind Devine under center for the Halstead Dragons on 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. Kind of a cross-buck play. Here comes a Farmer, and he's going to try to get out of and gets a little bit of yardage up to the 20-yard line. where it's going to be 2nd and 7.
Again, it's another one of those where the Vikings have a guy stopped and they're able to squirm through for another 2 or 3 yards. That's not normally an MO of the Viking defense. But here they're able to do a little bit of that. Good hard running, I think, tonight by Halstead, and I love the way they bounce back here on this possession.
Double wide, double flanker for the Dragons. Here comes Gear right up the middle, busting it in there, and he's got a little bit of room, but the Vikings certainly stop that one with getting up off the bottom of the pail. Mr. Griffith and Mr. Stambaugh in on that tackle. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 6 for the Halstead Dragons.
Gus just completely stood his guy up on that play. They were vertical, and he was able to toss him aside, get pressure on that back, and stay on Gear.
2 receivers near side, one to the far side. I'm going to throw it in the flat, a backwards pass. Farmer gets away from the first Viking tackler, in motion and in for the touchdown. Owen Farmer from the 19-yard line takes it in for the score, and Halstead, with 28 seconds left, gets the touchdown.
Yeah, Braxton House, I think that was sold out on the tackle there, dove at Farmer as soon as he was catching the ball. A little shifty play by Owen Farmer, and he's able to take it to the house. So this is a prime example of Halstead coming right back, pounding the ball down the throat of the Vikings, and reestablishing a little bit of their game here as well. Now it's kind of become, after a first quarter dominated by defense, we've seen 2 quarters here dominated by the offenses.
And they're going to go for 2 here as well. The Vikings have held them without the 2-point conversion. Devine under center. Pressure coming from the Vikings. Rolling out. He's in trouble and looking for the flag, and they're going to finally throw a flag. Nolan Dower was on Make-Najo, and they're going to give him a flag on that one. It was a late flag, but it really was uncatchable. I don't know.
It was going to be a tough catch. I tell you, he did have him down around the waist. You can say that it probably impeded his progress a little bit on that play, but I think the way it's set up there, you have to make that call in that situation. And again, Minoja there had an opportunity to possibly get to that ball. Tough call, but at the same time, I think he did impede him, and that moves the ball just about halfway closer. They still had a difficult time. I tell you, Augustus has been in that backfield a lot.
Yeah. Going to call holding on the play, so they'll go for the 2-point conversion from 1.5 yards out. They're going to hand it to Gear, and he's going to get in for the 2-point conversion. So Halstead gets the 2-point conversion, and our score with 28 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, Smoky Valley 24, Halstead 20. We're going to keep this one right here, as the Vikings will have a timeout here just a few seconds after the kickoff before the end of the 3rd quarter. But the Vikings give up 6 points on a drive that has 91 yards. I know that. How many plays we get here, we'll see in just a minute. But Vikings gave up some big yardage on those plays, and that's a heck of a methodical drive.
It really was a methodical drive. I mean, they continued to just. It opens up with a 15-yard gain on first down by Gear, and that really kind of set the tone, I think, for the whole drive. They just continued to pick up yardage a little bit here. We had a play or 2 for losses, and just weren't able to continue to get losses. They just made big plays on that drive and continued to move the ball forward. They were already across the 50-yard line in 4 plays. I'm trying to see exactly how many more plays it took him to get there. But nice drive. I thought nice running by Gear. He was very, very successful for him moving that ball down the field.
The Halstead will kick off down to the Vikings with 28 seconds left to go before the end of the 3rd quarter in what's now a 24-20 game. So it's going to come down to who's going to have the most left in the tank in the 4th quarter. Burns will kick it off for the for the Halstead Dragons. Dower and Gustus, 9-play, 10-play. Man in the white hat has given the signal for the kick. Burns is ready. It's a high-end pooch kick again. It's going to go out of bounds, and Vincent Pickering gets the ball. Wow. The coach was set over there trying to they're trying to pooch that up and see if they can outrun the Vikings to get to it. And I guess it was touched by Pickering before it went out of bounds. Otherwise, they'd get the ball at the 40-yard line or 35, whichever it is. But they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line now.
Yeah, Pickering grabbed that right there, and it got hit as soon as he touched it. And then the ball kind of shimmied along the sideline for just one bounce and then went out of bounds. That's why you see that the 29, I think Vinny actually grabbed it about the 32 or 33, and then it bounced backwards out of bounds at the 29.
Wishbone formation for the Vikings on 1st and 10. Going to hand it off on the crossing play. Now Carson has it still rolling out in the backfield. Caught upfield by House. He's across the 40 and out of bounds about the 44-yard line. A great pass by Carson Peel. A gain of about 12 or 13 on the play. 1st and 10 Vikings. And they get a big play right off the get-go.
Yeah, that's a nice play there, setting up the passing game. You know, you went all runs for the most part on that last drive. You fake a misdirection play there. You get nice blocking in the backfield. You hit House coming across the middle there, and a nice pickup of 14 yards to get this started.
1st and 10, Smoky Valley, wishbone formation. Here comes Blanchett trying to kick it out to the outside. He breaks one tackle and breaks another tackle and gets up near midfield before going out of bounds. So pickup of about 7 on the play for Cade Blanchett on that play. So 2 plays, and they're already to the 50-yard line for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, Braxton Creed came up, tried to deliver the first blow, and I tell you, Blanchett just lowered his shoulder and went down on him and then went to the next guy and just kept taking people on. Like you said, starting out at the 29, already up at the 50, 21 yards out, 2 plays.
2nd down and 3. Here comes Stanball. He's got a running room across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. 1st down yardage again for the Vikings with 8 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. This is like they're running out of time at the end of the game here, and this is still just the end of the 3rd quarter. Now, somebody, I think Halstead called.
No, I think that's going to take us to the end of the quarter.
Oh, that is the end of the quarter. Our score after 3 quarters, Smoky Valley leads at 24-20. We'll be back for the kickoff of for the opening play of the 4th quarter after this 1-minute timeout.
Checking a score update now.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where these two teams are kind of like a couple of heavyweight boxers out there. They're just trading blows here in this 3rd quarter.
Well, this 2nd and 3rd is just a slugfest.
Well, Carson here comes Meerkat trying to get the outside. He's got some running room. He's going to go to the house. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown on the first play of the 4th quarter. A 41-yard touchdown run. And just like that, the Vikings go. I had 71 yards.
4 plays, 71 yards is what I had, unless I missed the play in there somewhere. But that was, what a run. I mean, again, we get into the left side here. He's able to break free, and I saw a beautiful block there. The lead block was by Cade Blanchett. Cade Blanchett coming up with the great block on the field. The pros at H&R Block provide the help you need and the biggest possible refund. Find the tax prep option for you. H&R Block in Hutchinson, Lyons, and Ellsworth. The block of the game right there by Cade Blanchett.
And Carson Peel takes it in for 2 on the 2-point conversion. And just like that, the Vikings are up 32-20 on the first play of the 4th quarter. 40, how many yard run was that?
40, I think it was right at 40 the way the board had it listed. I think we said 41, but I think it was right at 40.
40-yard run by Autry. Point after by Peel. Good, and it is 32, 24-20 after that, and now 32-20 to 20. So the Vikings back up to their 12-point lead. They've had four 2-point conversions. So the 2-point conversions have been really important here in this ball game.
You know, they really have. And I tell you, the Vikings, I think they averaged 19.7 points a game last year, so well over that. And then I had Halstead last year averaging 19.6 points per game in their 9 games. So both teams at or above what they averaged last year here in game 1. But it really has been, we said before, both teams are very similar in how they want to attack and really go after you. And I think you're seeing both defenses are on their heels right now.
Yeah,
It's a struggle. I tell you, the biggest point in this game, the biggest game changer, I think, is what you just mentioned. 4 extra points, 4 2-point conversions made by the Vikings. That's a touchdown and an extra point right there, or a conversion. That's the difference in the game right now.
No question about that. Vikings are kicking off again. That last kickoff by Stanbaugh went all the way down inside the 5-yard line,
and they still took it for a 91-yard drive.
How many plays was that last drive for the Vikings? It wasn't very many.
I had 4 plays after they went 10 plays on that previous one.
So Stanbaugh ready to kick it off again. Farmer and I believe number 7, Bigley, back to the line drive kick again. Going to bounce and pick up at the 20 by Farmer. He's got some running room across the 40, 45 midfield. It's a foot race, and the Vikings are going to catch him, but Farmer across midfield down to the 35-yard line. What a huge return. He caught that on a perfect bounce on a dead run, and really that's the difference in taking the ball north and south.
The Meerkat scores on a big run, and he saves a touchdown right there. He was the one at the end of the coverage there who was able to run down Farmer. Otherwise, I think he's gone. He stayed home, did his job, reversed field, got going, turned him so that Evan Roberts could come in and finish off the play, saving a touchdown on the kickoff.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side for the Dragons. Little pass out into the flat to the back out of the backfield, Farmer, and he's going to get first down yardage across the 25 down to about the 24-yard line. Very close to first down yardage anyway.
Yeah, Farmer, nice little swing pass there from Devine. Ethan Abel, the first one on the tackle there, looked like Stanbaugh coming in from his linebacker position to help finish him off. But I tell you, the offenses definitely have the advantage right now. They just seem to be clicking on both sides for the Vikings and the Halstead Dragons.
They've got like you said, everybody's back on their heels on defense. 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Devine under center again, going to hand it off this time to Gear under the backfield. He's got running room, and he's got first down yardage and more. He's inside the 15-yard line down to about the 12, I believe. It's going to be first and 10. Halstead just that quick, and I know I'm going to run out of room in my scorebook. I'm going to have to go to the other side here pretty quick.
Well, you know how often we always say it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah.
In this third and fourth quarter, it's like 10 yards and a stream of vapor coming off the back of the runners because they're just able to keep moving so quickly.
They're just going to town. 1 receiver wide each way, double flanker, turn and hand it off to Gear up the middle again. He breaks through 1 tackle. House had him, or Griffith, one of the other. No, it's Holt had a hold of him, and he broke through that tackle. They're solid runners. Gear is a really solid runner.
Oh, yeah, they do a great job and their blockers are doing a great job right now, too. I know we talked about the Viking blockers earlier, but I tell you, both teams are really exploding off that line and coming out and get contact on the blocks, and arm tackles aren't working now.
Here's a handoff to Gear, and he's in for the touchdown from the 7-yard line. So a 7-yard run by Gear with 10-11 to go. So they didn't even take 2 minutes to score on their drive.
Yeah, it was a quick drive. I had them 4 plays, 33 yards, I think. 4 plays, 33 yards. They take it in quickly. Again, took over. How much time did you say?
It was 11:52 when we scored. Now it's 10:11, so a minute and 40 seconds. Of course, a lot of that was set up by the nice return, but they're going to put on their 2-point conversion, 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Hand off to Gear up the middle. He's going to get in for the 2-point conversion. So the 2-point conversion is good, and just that quick, Halstead answers back and makes the score 32-28. And I don't know if this crowd even knows what's happening right now. It's just really a silent crowd.
It's an exciting game, but at the same time, it's just happening so quickly. you've got guys on both sides. And even after you've scored, I think the Halstead guys are walking over just as gassed as the Vikings guys are. I mean, it's been up and down this field now so quick on every possession.
Yeah, no question about that. And again, like I said, that was set up by that nice kickoff return that Farmer took on the dead run and got through, and Autry kept him from getting a touchdown on the kickoff return. But then they really just pounced on the Vikings in 4 plays and put 8 more points on the board. So the Vikings with a 32-28 lead here in the fourth quarter. And if you're still here in the crowd and listening on the radio, you better stick around, because this game is far from over.
Well, and individual standouts right now, you got Devine is 7 for 12, 137 yards. Rushing the ball, Gear is now over 100, 18 carries, 108 yards. He's got 3 scores now. On the other side, Justice Autry is over 100. He's 13 carries for 137 yards. I tell you, total offense is really starting to add up, too. The Vikings are sitting at 342 yards on 45 plays, and Halstead 306 yards on 47 plays. So this is about as even on the stats as it is on the scoreboard at 32-28. And the last 2 possessions, Halstead's been able to match by getting in on their 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and the first 2 touchdowns, they didn't get the 2-point conversions, and that's the difference in the ballgame right now. So here we go. Halstead's going to kick it off to Smoky Valley. Burns is ready to kick it off. Ball set at the 40-yard line. Dower and Autry back about the 20 for the Vikings. They've been pooch kicking it. Now Pickering's going back a little deeper, and so is Blanchett to try to take that space up where he's trying to kick the ball. This time it goes over to Blanchett's side, and Blanchett's going to pick it up at the 20-yard line, try to get to the near side, and he's going to run into and be tackled about the 30-yard line. So good awareness by Cade Blanchett to go back and get the ball, but he certainly didn't get any yardage. He tried to get, and I know they always try to set up a wedge and get off to one side, so when they kick it to the opposite side, you got your wedge plan for. There isn't much you can do about that.
Yeah, and it's such a tough spot because you're not expecting the ball to come in there. It's not a normal spot to have that happen.
10:06 left to go. Vikings have it 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. House comes wide to the near side. Blanchett the flanker to the far side. I formation behind Carson Peel. Turn and hand it off to the Meerkat trying the left side. He's got some running room. He's across the 40 up to the 42-yard line. 1st down yardage and more.
Get some flags down there. Got a little laundry on the field. But 2 of them come out, so obviously somebody's going to get pinged here for a hold.
Probably going to be holding it. It is. The man in the white hat signals the holding on the Vikings. So penalty on the Vikings. Pickering talking to one of the officials. So he may be the guilty party there. Yeah, I think the coach will help that official over there on the outside. He was right bending his ear there on the sideline.
Again, one of those tough calls. I think maybe he gets underneath the arm a little bit. I wasn't sure that the defender necessarily changed directions and tried to break off of that. But again, that's how it was viewed. That's how it's called. Yep. And that's one of those swing plays. Normally you would say in a Viking offense, when you're getting 4 yards of play, you're backed up now. What? Was it a full 10? I don't know.
It was upfield where they threw the flag, so it's about a 2-yard gain, so it's about an 8-yard penalty.
Loss. So, but the way we've been moving the ball, we can make that up pretty quick.
High formation again behind Carson. He's going to hand it off to the Meerkat up the middle this time, and he's going to be taken down. Number 45, the linebacker, one of the ones in on that tackle. He's all excited about it as he comes way out here celebrating his tackle. So pickup of about 2 on the play for the Vikings. It's 2nd and 15 now. Ball's at the 25-yard line.
A nice stick in there by number 45, Braden Logan, the junior. But again, Vikings behind the sticks. This is the first time we've been behind the sticks in a long time. And this is a big drive. Our defense has given up a lot of yardage in this second half, so we've got to get the ball moving here.
High formation behind Carson. Pitch out back, and the Meerkat loses the handle. He gets pounded on after he's down. That could have been a late hit there by the linebacker, but mishandled on the pitch from Carson, and that cost the Vikings back to the 20-yard line now. So it's 3rd down and 20 for the Vikings. They got to get all the way to the 40-yard line now. So now we're in need of a big play.
Yeah, really hard. Went with the toss play there, trying to get to the outside. I think we had it set up pretty well. We had Stambaugh out there to get a block. If he could have gotten around that edge, I think he would have had something.
Yep.
But, again, ball didn't make it there, whatever, didn't make the catch, and now you're set up with a long, long third down, and we have to see what the offense has in store for this one.
3 receivers to the far side. Poor Carson, who's in shotgun formation. A high snap, but he goes up and gets it. Rolling side, rolling, and he's going to go down the field to Blanchett, and it's going to be incomplete.
Bounced off the carpet over there about 2 yards in front of Cade as he dove out of bounds. Still would have been about, 7 yards shy of the first down, but would have given you a little bit more room. Now, again, one of the things that's been a strength of the Vikings over the last few years has been that punting leg of Stambaugh. I think he's still our punter, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah.
But he's been able to swing the field for us a number of times, and so hopefully he can do that again. But this sets him up. Of course, you got the 2 deep men here for Halstead. So, again, they're going to try to get a little return action here, and the Vikings
This is the first punt of the game,
It is.
correct? Yeah. Good snap. It gets right to him. He's going to pick it up, and he's going to punt it, but it's going to get bounced, and it's going to take a Halstead bounce, and then finally a Viking bounce across midfield, so it's going to be at the 49-yard line. So that's where Halstead will take over 1st and 10, and the Viking defense now is going to be called upon to stem the tide here. Both teams have been just driving up and down the field, and now Halstead's defense stiffened on the Vikings, aided by the penalty. The penalty was really what got them behind the sticks.
And penalty on the drop ball and the toss. I mean, those 2 plays moved the Vikings backwards. I think those might be 2 of the only negative plays we had since the first play of our first drive of the third quarter. And then we've moved the ball forward, I think, on every play since.
Wide receiver each way for Devine under center. Here comes the man in motion. Here comes the running back from the side. He's got some room. He's going to go. Oh, nice tackle again by Max Beeker, I believe.
I think that was Dower.
Nolan Dower that time, upending the running back number 9, Haight. So he did a nice job of stopping that play. Looked like it had big yardage written all over it. 5-yard gain on the play inside Viking territory now, just short of the 45-yard line. 7.5 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Viking D needs to stiffen.
And again, field goal doesn't beat you.
Right.
Halstead's got to put this in the end zone.
Flanker in motion. Haight again. Tossed to the gear in the middle. He's got running room up the middle. Still running. 30, 20, 10, 5 on the corner and driven out of bounds about the 5-yard line. So a huge run from the 45-yard line down to near the 5, almost a 40-yard run by Gear. He is just stacking up yardage, and it starts with the blocking up front. He's getting those holes.
It does. Looks like they push him out at the 8, but yeah, they're making that first initial connection. That time, they kind of faked the little movement to the outside on the far side. Looked like they were going to give a toss, instead go to the inside guy, and there was a huge hole right there.
Yeah,
Nobody touches him until he's 12 yards up the field. Then he continues to run, like we said, all the way down to the 8.
First and goal for Halstead now. I formation or single back Gear behind the quarterback, hands it off to Gear. He's going to make it into the touchdown almost untouched. So an 8-yard touchdown run, and just like that, Halstead puts the drive together and goes 51 yards for the score.
Yeah, 3 plays, 51 yards. So that was quick. They took over at the 8:01 mark. Didn't even take a full minute to put that ball in the end zone. 49 seconds.
That comes at the 7:12 mark. And that puts Halstead on top now by the score of 34-32. They'll go for 2.
They're going to kick.
They're going to kick this time. So they're up by 2.
I think their goal here is to guarantee they're up by 3.
Yep.
Field goal doesn't beat them if they can hit
Nice
this.
snap. The kick is up. The kick is good. And our score was 7:12 left to go. Halstead 35, Smoky Valley 32. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
in agriculture. Member FDIC.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium. Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings have just let Halstead score back-to-back touchdowns now. 15-0 run, really, for the Halstead Dragons. The Vikings went up 32-20. They answered back and are now ahead 35-32.
Yeah, I really thought that 32-20 was going to be a big swing, and it has just swung back in the other direction.
Well, I said something at the end of the third quarter about which team's going to have the more momentum in the fourth quarter, and so far it's been Halstead. Kickoff pummeled by the Vikings, and they just pounce on the ball there. Good job by the Vikings to hang on to it there, but you would hope they'd try to get a little run back, but Beaker did the right thing and fall on the ball to make sure he don't give it up on a fumble or something.
It went right through his hands. It looked like he had it. It was up in the air. It went right through, and he, of course, made the right decision there by just jumping on top of it and guaranteeing that there was no fumble. You get into that stage.
Yeah.
Two swing plays there on that last drive. The penalty on the hold on first down puts us back 8 yards. The drop toss. Now you're behind the 8 ball a little bit. We got to push the ball back forward now in this drive.
We go back to wishbone formation. Here comes Blanchard on that left side. He's got some running room. He runs over a would-be tackler, gets about 9 yards on the carry. Good job by Cade Blanchard. Good blocking up front, and the Vikings pick up big yardage. What they needed, a little momentum jumping back on their side now.
And this Tim Lambert offense is geared to take up 7 minutes off the clock on a nice methodical drive. I mean, this is what they do.
That's exactly what you need.
The question is whether or not Halstead can make them take 7 minutes or not.
Yeah. Carson under center on the wishbone formation again. Here comes Blanchard again trying that side. Now he's going to shift over to the near side. He's still lunging up to near the 40-yard line. He's got first down yardage. A good play by Cade Blanchard. And the Vikings move the chains.
So unique to see the differences. Of course, you got Stanbaugh that's going to just pound right up the middle. You got Autry that's going to jump step and try to get through. And then you got Cade Blanchard who's got about one good cut, and then he's just going to plow over who's there. And he tried to do that time with Bigley and gets it a few extra yards.
1st and 10, Smoky Valley. Turn and hand it off to Autry, trying to get outside. Got a good angle here, Halstead defenders, and they're going to stop Autry. He's going to lose about a yard or two on the play. They strung it out nicely. Number 7 in the defensive backfield there, Bigley, he strung that play out well.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to do is we want that big play around the edge, but I think that's where the speed right now still exists. I think the gashes here are up the middle or inside the tackles as much as you can get contact. But again, you want to try to break that big play. You want to try to free up your little back to get somewhere. I think they're going to have to go in between the tackles.
Here comes Stanbaugh. No, it's Carson on the keeper, and he's going to get caught behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up maybe a yard on the play, so it's going to be 3rd and long here for the Vikings, about 11 yards. So Halstead snuffed that play out too, so they have back-to-back good defensive plays here, and the Vikings are faced with 3rd and long.
Tough setup here. You got to be looking your own 40. You got 11 yards. If you pick up half of it on this play, the defense has struggled. The defense has struggled to get a stop. They've been they've been on their heels for a long time. I think you see a 4-down territory here if you can at least pick up half. But you may have to go for it either way.
Wide receiver each way for Carson under center. He's going to roll out to the far side, still rolling. He's under pressure, and he's driven out of bounds by number 67 on the play. Good effort by Goody. And Carson loses yardage, and it's 4th down and long now, and the Vikings are probably going to have to punt. You'd think, like you said, if they could have picked up some of it, they would have had a chance to go for it on 4th down, but Carson just couldn't unload it, and he was just getting pressure and ended up getting sacked back, loss of about 8 or 9 yards on the play.
Yeah, it's just great coverage. I tell you, everything was covered up. He was trying to look for something. In Carson's defense, he's looking for something up the field. Never really saw anything open up that he could get. And again, it's 5:22 mark. Now you got to punt, and you got to defend.
Here comes Stanbaugh's punt. Single receiver back for Halstead on this one. Ball got kicked by the Vikings there. It's going to go back to near the 40-yard line. So that's where Halstead will have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Well, even though the ball got back there too far, it ran into somebody covering the punt. And Halstead will have it 1st and 10. Now the Viking defense, Halstead's defense stepped up on that series after the Vikings got the first down.
So it's back-to-back series now that Halstead stepped up. They got the stop before that led to the first punt by the Vikings. Then they were able to go down the field in 3 plays. In 3 plays and score. Now they were able to get a second stop here. Those are the only 2 stops in this half by either team.
Yeah. I put it down as a 3 and out, but it was actually a 4 and out. I think we got a first down on the 1 play and then suffered the 4 down turnover. Wide receiver each way, double flanker for Halstead. Here comes Farmer on trying to kick it outside. He's got some room. He's got the 40, 45, 50, 40. Foot race by Blanchett, and he'll get taken out at inside the 30-yard line. But Owen Farmer finding a seam. That is so tough on that, just that double it's kind of like a reverse. And they just have done a great job of putting that in play.
Yeah, they've done their misdirection looks have really been solid. I know Coach Lambert's asking for a block in the back here, and I probably agree with him. I think he got around the backside of him a little bit. I think if we make that call earlier in the game, it's probably the same call here, but it's not called. It's a big gain. They started out there at the 38-yard line, so it was a huge gain by Farmer there. Really changing the tide. But again, all we need to do is get a stop here, and even if they come out and kick a field goal, you're still within 6.
2 receivers far side. Here comes Gear up the middle. He just runs through a tackle by Gustus, and then finally some of the Vikings grab a hold of him and get him turned around. Holt, one of the tacklers, and Stambaugh coming up off the bottom of the pile. So, but still, got 3 or 4 yards before they finally pushed him back. So pickup of about, we'll call it 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. 4:40 now. Time becoming a factor here in the 4th quarter.
It's really tough to not pick up 3 yards or 4 yards now, because that first initial engagement there up front, you got some tired big guys out there right now.
No question about that. 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side. Been the formation they've liked here in the second half a lot. Turn and toss to Gear. He's going to try the right side, trying to get outside. A little bit of a hold there on the wide receiver on Nolan Dower. I don't know how he got by without a flag on that one. McNoja had a hold of Nolan, and just Nolan couldn't shake him. Pickup of about 3 on the play, so it's going to be 3rd down and 3rd down and 4. 2 3-yard gains, 3rd down and 3 or 4.
A nice job. Pickering broke free early and then got outrun, but Dower turned him back inside so Vinny could come up and make the tackle. But you're right, 3rd and 4, clock continuing to run, 3:40 now and counting. Really need a big stop here and make Halstead have to make a decision on 4th down. Need a no-gain stop right here.
One receiver each way. Now man in motion, Haight is going to go to Gear right up the middle. There's a good play like you called for. Here comes a flag. So that's going to be holding, or if that's going to be, hopefully it's not a face mask.
I think you're going to see a hold here. Gustus got through there right away with the first contact and got a little extra help in there from Zeke Baker, also in there Braxton House making a play. So now here he gained a couple. It would have been 4th and 2, but you got to push him back, but it's going to take more time off the clock now. Vikings may end up having to use a timeout after this next play to preserve some time, depending upon whether or not they go through the air or the ground. You got to expect Halstead's going to keep it on the ground and try to milk some clock right here. The play clock's going to go ahead and start. They've got plenty of time to get this play set up. Game clock running now as well.
2 receivers far side, 1 to the near side, single back behind the quarterback, who goes back to pass, going to go down. Now he's getting trouble and going to get sacked in the backfield. Good job by Justin Holt.
And the Vikings will immediately take that timeout. Okay, at the 3:05 mark here, getting that timeout, but a great sack by Justin Holt. Got back there. Tell you, he wanted to let that pass go deep. Dower had good coverage, forced the guy out to the sideline. Wasn't really much of an avenue, although I thought he probably could have still thrown it. Maybe tried to get the PI on that play or something, but he doesn't. Holt gets back there, makes a big play.
The clock kept running for a little while. It'd be interesting to see if we can tell what time it was when they actually called timeout. Lambert started calling timeout.
I think Lambert tried to call timeout, but I don't think it was being awarded the timeout by the official. I think the clock did it right when the official made the call, but I think Tim was adamant that he was calling that earlier.
Yeah.
Probably lost 4 or 5 seconds there as well, but again, big play.
Big fourth down or third down play, causing a fourth down and long now for Halstead. So they're outside field goal range.
Outside field goal range, but they're going to try. They're going to try a deep ball here. See if they can pick up a flag,
pick up a flag,
whatever they can get.
Yeah, no question about that. It's game time now. If they get a first down here, they'll just about salt this game away. So the Vikings are certainly going to have to stop. And now, we haven't seen much of a blitz yet. The Vikings, do you think you sell out and try to blitz the quarterback, or are you sure he's going to pass? What do you think?
I think they're going to pass. I think their speed worries us. I mean, if we do sell out, go blitz, and we put everybody else back and protect, I think they're going to throw underneath, and they're going to have a chance to pull something out of the hat here. Again, we took the timeout, but that also enables Halstead a chance to talk about whatever trick play they've got in the book. I think you're going to see Smoky Valley kind of lay back just a little bit, especially their safeties. I tell you, the guy we haven't mentioned except for the play 2 or 3 plays ago, Caleb Augustus has been back there fast. If they send Caleb and give him a chance to go to work back there, he's been in that backfield a lot.
Quarterback is going to go back in shotgun formation for the first time in a while.
Yeah, good pooch punt out of this, too, to try to send him deep.
Going to drop down and going to throw it. He's got a receiver in the end zone. Touchdown. Found McNoja in the end zone. He just outran the coverage. Vikings were kind of playing center field a little bit, and he got deep, and he got enough time to pass it. And it's a 20. I already took the yardage off there. I don't know
30,
where.
I think it was a 30-yard.
30-yard touchdown pass.
I think we had us marked at 4th and 13 from the 30, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, it looks like it's marked at the 32, so a 32-yard score on that play. But a big play. Again, the Vikings looked like they were playing a little bit of a zone there. They ran a lot of guys into the middle and send him deep, and they made the play, and the extra point's good.
Extra point is good. Our score with 2:58 left to go. Vikings trail now by 10, 42-32. Back after this 30-second timeout.
At Farmers State Bank, we have a lot more than money invested in this community. We've invested our time, our interest, our heritage. If you're looking for financial advice or the best rates, Farmers State Bank is ready to help you grow your business, and that will help this community grow as well. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Lucas Raleigh with Raleigh Insurance. With a family myself, I know how important managing expenses are.
Halstead has put together a huge rally here in the fourth quarter. They now lead 42-32. 2:58. They scored on a 32-yard touchdown pass to McCajo.
Yeah, six plays, 62 yards is what I had.
Halstead set the kickoff. It's a squib kick on the ground this time, picked up by Dower. He falls on it at the 30 or 28-yard line, so that's where the Vikings will have it 1st and 10. But we just haven't been able to get anything on the kickoff return segment. They've just done some different things each time when they've kicked off, and it's just been a.
I haven't gotten anything on the kickoff return, and our defense hasn't stopped them once in the second half. I think we've just been gassed. We had that great drive down the field, which I thought really established us. You mentioned it. We go up 32-20 on that one. And from that point on, it has just been a difficult road as they put up 22 straight points after that.
A high snap to Carson. He's in trouble in the backfield trying to throw the ball away, and now does, and Autry trying to catch it, and he can't hang on to it at the 50-yard line. He went diving for the ball and just tried his best to catch it. But Carson, after a high snap, was just kind of under duress the whole time. So it's 2nd down and 10 now. Clock stops on the incomplete pass, but Vikings have to score twice. They have to score and then get an onside kick. So first subject is scoring, though.
And you'd like to score without having to use any more timeouts. You've already used one. Mm-hmm. You'd like to avoid having to use any more because you need to get this score right here.
Carson goes back under center on this one. Going to drop back and do the Statue of Liberty play. He's got Autry in the open. He's at the 40, 50, and tackled at the 50-yard line. So Autry did that handoff Statue of Liberty kind of play to get a first down yardage to midfield.
Yeah, 23-yard gain there on that play, and he had to hold up a little bit to try to see if Vinny could get that block, and that allowed other tacklers to make it as well. But I don't think he was going to make it much farther if he tried to get around him. So they do get the big gain. The clock continues to run, 2:25 and counting. Vikings at midfield.
3 receivers to the near side. A little high snap again, but Carson goes up to get it. He's going to go deep to Blanchard, trying to get down there, and he catches the ball. What a big catch when traffic. The defender was hanging on to him, trying to get the ball back. It should have been a flag come out, but he caught the ball for a first down to the 20-yard line. So 30-yard pickup on that play. Not using, like you say, not using much time. 2:12 now to go. Vikings at the 20-yard line. Carson getting the play from Lambert and heading into the huddle real quickly.
That's the old back shoulder catch. Nobody else saw it except for the receiver. He comes back, makes a great play.
Wide receiver each way for the Vikings this time. Rolling out is Peel. Pressure coming from the backside. Now that one's thrown over the head of Blanchard. I think Carson thought he was going to go upfield, and he went out to the flat instead. Incomplete, second down and 10.
Yeah, I think Carson was just a little geeked up that time, put a little heat on that one. At the same time, not a bad play. I mean, you give yourself a chance to catch your breath now. You don't have to rush this next play. If he makes the catch, great. Otherwise, you're under a little bit of duress right there. Let the ball fly. Get a play called. You got time to set it up, catch your breath. And, again, a lot of time. 151's a lot of time. You get the ball in the end zone, you go for the onside kick, or you go for something here and get the ball back, you have another chance.
Second down and 10. Wide receiver to the far side. Carson rolling to the near side, looking for Blanchard in the end zone. Still looking. No, he's going to throw it in the flat to Pickering. Pickering's going to go along the edge and go out of bounds. Smart play by Vinny to stop the clock inside the 10-yard line, about the 9. And it is a first down, so it's first and goal for the Vikings now with 1:43 left to go.
Smart play by Pickering, smart play by Peel. He really wanted to go to the end zone with this ball. He's looking, and Vinny opens up right there along the sideline, keeps his feet in bounds, gets up the field, gets out of bounds inside the 10, saves time on the clock, gives him a first down, another chance to get a score here.
2 receivers go out to the left side, Pickering the tight end on the near side. High formation behind Carson. They look like they're going to blitz him a little bit. Carson goes inside to Blanchard, and it's good for the score. Touchdown on the 9-yard pass from the Vikings, and just that quickly with 1:41. They scored with 2:58. Now we score with 1:41 to go.
Yeah, 6 plays, 73 yards for the Vikings there as they methodically move down the field and get the score from Peel to Blanchard. Like you said, at the 1:41 mark after taking over with 2:57. Actually, after we land on the ball, you're right, they scored at 2:58. But at 2:57, take over the ball. So a nice quick drive, 1 minute, 16 seconds.
2-point conversion. Carson's going to take it himself, and he goes in for the score. So Carson gets the 2-point conversion. That gives the Vikings a 40-42 deficit. And we'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
So what do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home?
With People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here in the campus of Bethany College, with the Vikings now have phase 1 taken care of. They scored in as little a time as possible. Now they got to get an onside kick, and Halstead has 10 guys up inside between the 50 and 45.
850 yards of total offense today between the two teams. 429 for Halstead, on 56 plays, 429. Yeah, for Halstead on 56 plays, 421 for the Vikings on 60 plays. So even up on the stats, nearly even up on the board.
I got to have enough guys on each side of the kicker, so I'm going to run over here on the other side. Ball's going to kick it to the right side. Ball's got to go 10 yards. Halstead picks it up. Good job by Haight to pick it up on the bounce and get it before the Vikings have a chance, and that's going to just about wrap it up. The Vikings have one timeout left.
It's not optimal. I mean,
yeah, but you got a 40-second play clock. Yeah.
But you do get the one timeout in there, and again, you could have a fumbled snap here as well. Yeah. I mean, we've seen
crazier things
happen. So again, it's late in the game. It's been a warm, steamy night. You hope for the best here. You continue playing it out, but what a swing here in the second half. It looked like the Vikings were completely in charge of this game at 32-20. I thought Halstead was on the ropes. You watched that. I really believe that was a huge score, and they come back out and respond. So again, hats off to the Dragons tonight.
Devine goes under center. And snap and hand it off to Gear. Gear tries that right side of the Vikings, and he's going to get a couple yards. The Vikings will call timeout quickly. 1:31 now on the clock. So you take that times two 40-second times now, and that's only 10 seconds left after the two plays. And then you run a play.
Well, just enough time to take the punt and run a reverse, and maybe a couple of flea flickers on the way, and a little, you never know. We could bring the Cal band out here and see if we can use them as well, whatever we need to use. But no, I think there's been a lot of good tonight. I think from the Vikings standpoint of the ability to move the ball and the ability to do a lot of positive things. I know if it does end the way it does now. Very disappointing start, I know, for these athletes and these coaches. I think they felt like they could come out here and compete extremely well, but it was just an interesting night of football all the way around, the way we go from a scoreless first quarter where it really seemed like the defenses were dominating to this wide open
fourth quarter. Yeah.
Well, wide open second, third, and fourth. Until finally Halstead gets a couple of stops.
Yeah, it came down to those two stops that Halstead got on those two drives. Yeah. Halstead comes out now, second down and 8.
And the inability of the Vikings to get a 4th and 13 stop down here as well. That's big.
Yeah. The line under center. Going to hand it off on the reverse to Farmer. Farmer gets a little bit of room and gets to the 45-yard line, picks up about 3 more yards. Minute 20 now left to go. They'll have to snap the ball. There's 30 seconds on the play clock, so they'll have to snap the ball with about 45 seconds left to go. It's going to come down to just a few seconds. If they have to punt the ball, we'll see. They may even let it clock expire and take a 5-yard penalty. See what they do. It'll be 45 seconds before they snap it. And Halstead may go down until the very second. And oh, your Jayhawks are winning, huh?
We don't care who we're playing.
They call a timeout now. So we'll keep this one right here as the Vikings certainly have the work cut out for them, but also going on tonight in the world of tennis. Serena Williams has certainly drawn a lot of attention for her finish at the...
Yeah, she lost tonight.
I see that, and she won...
Likely the end of that career. We haven't had a lot of chances to talk tonight. I'm going to try to shove a couple of things in here as quickly as I can. Got a response back from Coach Warbenton in tennis today. I've been really pleased with how his girls have been doing. Thought I would try to throw that out there. Also have to say hi to Abby Rose tonight. She's listening to us. Got Maddie Toll and Pratt as well. So some of our alums out there. You mentioned Haven Lysell Stewart earlier. Varsity had a meet on Tuesday at Ellsworth. Placed first. Had 3 or 4 girls win first in their events. Lena Rockholtz was number 1 singles. Carrie Adam Campbell Gaskell at number 1 doubles, and Lily Helene and Kayla Norberg at number 2 doubles. Kelsey Adam placed 3rd at number 2 singles. JV played at McPherson on Tuesday, placed 5th as a team. On Thursday, they placed 2nd in a home meet. Jill Hett won the combined singles division that day, and then JV plays on Tuesday at Heston at 3, while Varsity plays a tournament at home on Thursday. That play starts at 10 a.m. They'll be both at the high school and the college courts.
3rd and 5 now for Halstead, and he's going to run it to Gear on the far side. He's going to get very close. He's going to get a first down.
That's been the story tonight for Gear. He's been very successful. He's just had a solid night. We had him at 163 yards on the night prior to that carry.
They're going to bring the chains out, I believe, and major. No, they're not. If they're not going to bring the chains out.
They call 4th down. They called him short. I didn't think they would have.
There's only 36 on the play clock. 30. Yeah, that's it. They don't have to snap the ball. So this game is going to end in the Halstead favor. Not much you can say. It just come down to a couple of big defensive stands by the Halstead Dragons in the 4th quarter to stop the Vikings on a couple of course, they stopped themselves on one of the drives on the penalty and the fumbled on the pitch. But, it's a sad way to start a season that you had a lot of hope for. But, you do improve a lot between your first and your second game.
You do.
That is the final score. Our final here from Anderson Stadium, Lynch Brothers Field. Halstead 42, Smoky Valley 40. We'll be back to wrap this game up for you after this timeout from our sponsors.
Coverage of Viking football continues next with the Vikings. Recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Tim Lambert. The Smoky Valley Vikings play on Mix 96.7.
My name is Lauren Doak, here to tell you about the Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School. Our virtual school offers tuition-free curriculum to students grades 6 through 12. We have over 75 elective classes and 8 career pathways. Experience learning at the Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School, an online link between home, school, and public education. Be anywhere, learn everywhere with Smoky Valley Virtual Charter School. Learn more at smokyvalley.org.
Allen Samuels and Hutch is proud to support our community and local businesses, and we promise to continue to do so. Follow us on Facebook and join in our weekly giveaways. Check out our website at allensamuelshutch.com for our new inventory arriving daily. And remember, Ladies' Day is every Tuesday for discounted oil changes, tire rotation, and a free car wash. Allen Samuels on the giant corner of 30th and Marine and Hutch. They always have a warm cup of coffee waiting, and that's why Mr. Samuels always says,
"Come by, let's be friends."
The Halstead Bank is a perennial supporter of Halstead High School athletics and activities. Halstead Bank has been serving area farmers and ranchers for over a century, so we understand agriculture. We have the product offering and lending expertise to help your farm operation thrive. And our knowledge of the industry can add value to your business. Call us down by 314 Main Street in Halstead. To speak with our lender, Steve McGinn, Halstead Bank. Our roots run deep in agriculture. Member FDIC. Today's game is brought to you by Halstead Dragonbackers. Proud to support the youth of the Halstead community. Contact the Dragonbackers about becoming a member. Go Dragons from the Halstead Dragonbackers.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
Touchdown on a drive in the second quarter. They came right back and answered back. A 14-yard run by Carson Peel. 2-point conversion was good. The Vikings took an 8-6 lead, but also came right back and played 58-yard drive, scoring with 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter to take a 12-8 lead. The Vikings, they decided they were going to drive together too. They took it 78 yards and got into touchdown, 2-point conversion. Again, this pass was a 19-yarder from Field to Pickering. 2-point conversion again was good by Blanchett on the run, and the Vikings went into the locker room up 16-12. And then the third quarter, the Vikings got the score first. Blanchett scored on a 4-yard run. The 2-point conversion by Blanchett was also good, and they went up 24-12. Then kind of one of the momentum swings of Halstead. They got the ball and kickoff at the 9-yard line. 91 yards from 10 plays. That culminated in a 19-yard pass to Farmer from Devine. And they closed the gap 24-20 with just 28 seconds left to go in the third quarter. But the Vikings answered right back. 40 yards first by Andre gave them a 32 20 lead with 11:52 to go. Viking fans were feeling pretty comfortable at that time. But then Halstead came right back again and scored on a 7-yard gear run. And gear also on a two-point conversion. It was 32-28. And then the Vikings offense kind of stumbled a little bit. 3 and out. Aided by a penalty and a mishap on the toss sweep. And the Vikings had to punt the ball away. And Halstead drove quickly 51 yards. That drive culminated in an 8-yard gear run. And they went up after the 2-point conversion, or kick conversion, 1 point. They went up 35-32. Vikings got the ball back with 7:12 to go, but they couldn't get anything going. They punted the ball away again and again. A 6-play, 62-yard drive culminated in a fourth down play, or long third down play, a 32-yard completion to McCajo, and they went up 32-42, a 10-point lead. And then the Vikings, at their last desperation drive, they scored. It was 1:41 on a 9-yard pass from Peel to Blanchett. The Peel run for 2 was good, but Halstead then ran the clock out to win by the score of 42-40. And now joining us, Coach Chris McClure, and we were just talking here, that long 91-yard drive that Halstead put together, and then the 2 3-and-outs at the Halstead defense. Halstead, I think their defense kind of stepped up in that second half.
Yeah, I think it had more to do with us. So, we had a holding penalty that set us back, put us behind the sticks, and then we fumbled the pitch, and so that was more to do with us than with their defense, I think. But, give them credit for making the plays when they had to. And I think it had more to do with the beginning of the game and how many tackles we missed early on and gave them life and gave them first downs or touchdowns and let them think that they could stay in the game and gave them confidence. I think that was the starting point of it. Yeah,
it was really a quiet first half. Neither team could get anything going. It kind of moved up and down the field. No team even punted in the first half. The offenses seemed to be clicking better than defenses. Normally on a football team, the defense kind of is ahead of the offense, but maybe on both these teams, the offenses were they ahead of the defenses?
Well, I think, our offense is Tim's offense. We're gonna come right at you, and so our guys are getting off the ball and creating gaps and making good plays. And then defensively, we just weren't tackling.
Yeah, it was a tackling issue because we talked about how their guys were running through some arm tackles once in a while. And Doug, you can chime in too. There many times we felt like we had them, and then second, maybe third effort even, the Halstead went through some of our tackles.
I mean, the same thing too, Chris, but it just looked like both defenses were gassed there for a stretch and just had a rough time. And you're exactly right. I think that penalty call really set us back, and we never really recovered from that hold. Yeah, we needed to keep getting first downs and go down and score and keep that 2-score lead. I joked up there in the booth that it didn't help either that, between the last part of the third quarter and early fourth quarter, Tim only took 28 seconds off the clock to score. He needed to do a 12-minute scoring drive instead of a 30-second scoring drive.
Well, we talked about when we got the ball back with 7:12 left to go, a typical Tim Lambert drive is about 7 minutes and, 15 plays, and that would be just fine to ice the game away, but it didn't happen, and we didn't convert and had to punt the ball away. And again, we say you improve a lot between your first and second game. The Haven Wildcats are our next team on the schedule, and we certainly will know the Vikings will be prepared.
And Coach, I thought early on, our swarming defense was phenomenal in that first quarter, second quarter, early part of that. I thought we moved well to the ball. We strung plays out. Again, I know from your standpoint, it's not 1.5 quarters, it's 4 quarters. But I think there were I think you guys will notice some things you can really build off of and show kids that we can do in those upcoming weeks. I hope so. Like I said, we got a lot of work to do. Coach Lambert told them this week in practice that we hope it doesn't take a loss for them to start listening to some of the things we're telling them. Unfortunately, that came true.
Yeah, loss is never good. But again, you did score a lot of points. It was an entertaining game, and I know the Vikings will be ready next week.
Thanks, guys.
Chris, thank you for coming out. And the Vikings fall tonight by the score of 42-40, and they will be back at it next week on the road at Haven. But we don't know what Haven did tonight. We will see what we find out. But you got some stats to talk about first.
I do. Let's go ahead and talk about stats for tonight. Again, there's a lot of them. It was a busy night of football here at the stadium. Let's start with Halstead. They finished the night with 438 yards of total offense on 59 plays. It's crazy. They had 59 offensive plays. We had 60, and we were only 17 yards different between the two teams. 421 for us, 438 for them. They averaged 7.4 yards per play. Had 169 yards through the air. Tucker Devine was 8 of 13, 169, 2 touchdowns, none bigger than the 4th and 13 touchdown pass late in the game that really swung the momentum. He did throw 1 interception. That, of course, that pass right before the end of the half. Rushing-wise, they were sluggish in the first half and really picked it up. 269 yards on 46 carries. They averaged nearly 6 yards per carry, of course, led by Skylar Gear. We mentioned that he didn't run the ball on that first possession of the second half, but boy, he showed up after that. 25 carries, 167. He ends up with 4 touchdowns, averaged nearly 7 yards a carry. Owen Farmer had a big day as well, 8 carries, 60 yards. He had nearly 7.5 yards per carry. Devine, the quarterback, 7 rushes for 21. Owen Haight, he had the little cramp in the early part of the second half, 3 carries for 12. Adler Davidson, 2 carries for 9. Those were kind of the key runs there. Receiving-wise, Zane McInoja, he had 4 receptions for 84 yards. He also caught the big touchdown pass. Skylar Gear, 1 grab for 50 yards, a big catch down the seam early in the game. Owen Farmer, 3 grabs for 35 yards. He also had a touchdown, and Owen Haight was thrown to, but didn't have a reception. Defensively, Haight led the way for them with 9 tackles. Gage Meyer had 8. Breeson Bigley, 7. Holden Davis, 5. Braden Logan, 5. Killen Corona, 4. Owen Farmer, 4. And then a number of Halstead Dragons with 3 or less. Kicking-wise, they were 2 for 3 tonight, kicking extra points. Of course, the one blocked early in the game by Tristan Stambaugh. We thought that might be a swing play, and it did force them to go for 2 on a number of plays, but he does come back in and go 2 for 2. They also had 1 punt, a 13-yard punt, and that was by we were wrong. There was the 1 punt that was done early in the game by the quarterback. Didn't go very far. Punt returns for Halstead, Joey Millspaw, 1 return for 13 yards. Kickoff returns, Owen Farmer, 4 returns, 52 yards. Of course, had the really big kickoff return that kind of swung the game as well. Owen Haight, 1 for 7. They were also, they also had 22 first downs in the game, 14 via the run, 5 of 11 third down conversions, and 1 for 3 fourth down conversion. And, of course, that one was that touchdown pass late in the game. Smoky Valley, as I said, 420 yards on 60 plays, averaged nearly 70 yards a play. Carson Peel had 97 yards through the air. He was 6 of 10, also threw for 2 touchdown passes. Cade Blanchett had 2 of those grabs for 39 with 1 of the scores. Vincent Pickering, 2 grabs for 30 yards. He also had a score. Justice Autrick had a ball in the flat for 14 yards. And Braxton House had a catch for 14 yards as well. Rushing-wise, the Vikings were pretty dominant there, 324 yards on 50 carries, 6.5 yards per carry. The Meerkat led the way, 18 carries, 157 yards. I believe that 1 run for a score was 55 yards or 50 yards for a score. He did have the 1 touchdown. Cade Blanchett, 11 rushes, 73 yards, also a touchdown. Stambaugh, 12 for 70. Carson Peel, 8 for 24. He also had a touchdown as well. Defensively, Caleb Gustus led the way. We had said his name a lot. 11 tackles. Ethan Abel, 8.5. Max Beaker had 6. Nolan Dower had 6. Also had the interception. Cade Blanchett with 5. Justin Holt with 4. Tristan Stambaugh, 3. Gus Griffith, 2.5. Braxton House and Alex Groslin with 2. Gavin Stambaugh, Vincent Pickering, 1.5. Richard Zeller, Evan Roberts, Zeke Baker, and Gio Luis all had a tackle as well. Stambaugh punted twice tonight, 62-yard total, 31-yard average. Kickoff returns, the Meerkat, 1 for 11. And Nolan Dower, 3 for 2. Just didn't have much in the way of kickoff returns. They really stymied us on that one. Vikings, meanwhile, were 25 first downs on the night, 4 for 9 on third down conversions, but 0 for 2 on fourth down. Halstead led the way, 26 minutes, 48 seconds of time, while the Vikings had 21 minutes and 12 seconds. And, of course, the 2-point win on the board for Halstead.
Yeah, that's all that matters is that bottom score. We'll take our final timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the final thoughts on tonight's game. You've been listening to Smoky Valley Football. Back after this timeout.
More of the Viking Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Find exclusive stories highlighting Viking athletics at adastraradio.com. Mix 96.7.
Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for your orthopedic needs. Now seeing physical therapy patients at Sterling College as well as our location in Hutchinson, enhancing the quality of your life and helping you return to the activities you love. Visit Summit online at summitks.com or call 620-665-7766 to make your consultation appointment. Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for exceptional health care.
Summer is here and we're bringing the heat. At Next Tech Wireless, you can get an iPhone SE 3rd Gen or the Samsung A53 on us. Or if you're looking for a little more, you can also get up to $529 off any other device, including the Samsung S22 Ultra or the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Come visit us at a location near you or call or text at 877-621-2600 for more information. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
Hey, it's Gabe at Midway Motors, inviting you in for our fall tire event. Right now, Midway is selling all tires at $1 over cost. That's right, $1 over cost. Check out this great special and schedule today at midwaymotors.com.
Even though I've moved out of state, I can still bank locally with Farmer State Bank using my online services. I use all of the electronic options Farmer State Bank offers without ever even visiting the lobby. Member FDIC.
Erickson Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs. Whether it's a new build, a remodel of a kitchen, interior, exterior, or an insurance restoration project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. We stand behind our work and have lasting relationships with vendors, suppliers, and most importantly, with you, the customer. Erickson Custom Building, proud to support all high school activities. Call 620-585-2816. Or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
Viking football on Mix 96.7.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Munster Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where tonight the Smoky Valley Vikings fall to the Halstead Dragons by the final score of 42-40. A scoreless first quarter got started in the second quarter with Halstead going in from 3 yards out on a 59-yard drive on 7 plays. The point after was blocked by the Vikings, and with 9:43 to go in the second quarter, Halstead broke on top 6-0. But the Vikings answered quickly back. A Carson Peel 14-yard run got the Vikings in the end zone. The point after pass from Peel to the Vikings was good, and it was 8-6 with 10:11 left to go in the second quarter. But Halstead answered right back. Gear taking it in from 1 yard out. The pass, 2-point conversion pass, was no good, and it was 8-12 in favor of the Halstead Dragons. But the Vikings answered right back. They scored on a 19-yard pass play from Pickering to from Peel to Pickering. The 2-point conversion again by Blanchett was good, and the Vikings would go into the locker room up 16-12. And then in the third quarter, the Vikings got on the scoreboard first. A Blanchett 4-yard run. The 2-point conversion also by Blanchett was good, and it was 24-12. But maybe the drive of the night, a 10-play, 91-yard drive, was capped by a 19-yard pass from Vincent to Farmer. That got the Halstead Dragons within 24-20 after the 2-point conversion. But the Vikings went right away and scored on the first play of the fourth quarter, a 40-yard run by Autry. The 2-point conversion was good, and it was 32-20. The Vikings felt pretty comfortable at that time. But then Gear runs it in from 7 yards out. He also gets the point after run, and it's 32-28. And then what happened next on the drive, the Vikings get called for a holding penalty. They also fumble a pitch, and they have to punt deep in their own territory. Halstead gets the ball back, takes it on a 51-yard drive. The play culminated in an 8-yard Gear run. The point after kick was good, and Halstead was on top 35-32, but still 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But the Vikings, again, couldn't get their offense going. They punt the ball away, and a 6-play, 62-yard drive by Halstead. Lecajo taking the pass from Devine for the score, and they go up 42-32. a 10-point lead with 2:58 left to go. The Vikings put a desperation drive together. They get it in the end zone with 1:41 left to go on a 9-yard pass from Peel to Blanchett. The point after run by Peel was good, and it's 42-40, but Halstead would run out the clock and win the game. The Vikings never got a chance to they didn't recover the onside kick, and they never got the ball back, and they fall 42-40. Halstead ran 59 plays for 438 yards. The Vikings ran 60 plays for 421 yards. It was a night of offense and not enough defense, and the Vikings fall in their opener at home to Halstead by the score of 42-40. Reporting for the Scoreboard Show, this is Don Bengtson.
Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Hutch are proud supporters of high school sports. And of course, we are proud to support our community any way we can. Good luck to all of our athletes this season. We hope you have a fun and memorable and most of all, healthy season. Be safe. Allen Samuels, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the giant corner of Lorraine and 30th in Hutch, or online 24/7 at allensamuelshutch.com. Come by. Let's be friends.
You've been listening to coverage of Viking football. The Smoky Valley Vikings play on Mix 96.7. Viking football is streaming online at adastraradio.com and on the Ad Astra Radio app. This has been a presentation of the Ad Astra Sports Network, leading the way in regional sports coverage.